possessor of souls, devil in disguise, the possessor of souls.
Feel the pain in your chest.
You're racist pieces of shit, pretending to be minorities. You're racist pieces of shit, pretending to be minorities. Fuck you. 6 million of you means you're not a minority. There's 400 people in my reserve. How many of them you think got the balls to come up and say, by the way, I'm also Jamaican, and on my mother's side, I happen to be South African? Oh, but you're a minority, fucking censoring me because I'm racist? Fuck you. Go make another complaint to the CJC, bitch. Put some more pipe bombs in my homeboy's car, bitch. Back to the story. I'm not a fucking Christian. I'm out for the money, not the glory. The poppy seeds on the morning glory muffins make you feel your drug test, but I'm out with shit like drugs don't test.
There's no escaping the voice, no turning the time. Your soul is already lost, and I'm making it mine. I'm the devil in disguise, like
we'll fucking make him wait an hour and a half to get online so he does not use words we don't like. Okay. Well, I don't know which ones they are. You fucking pick and choose which words to censor. An hour and a half I've been here. I got nothing left to fucking say. Great, we got videos of angry people screaming. You gonna sell advertising on that, stupid? But you're inherently so superior at this marketing and electronics. Hey, no, you're not. Or the shit would work. You'd censor it after the fact. You'd see what I had to say and then censor it after the fact like everybody else does. You fucking... As an ethnic group, you're the stupidest one.
That's the motto, we live by for timing. Playing games, we got no time grind. Till our stacks so high, right? For all the niggas who are close by, if you ain't about it, please stay on the Lord's side.
2 pennies for one night, cause I'm coming through killing 2 homies with one guy. Get it? I'm so high. Stay fly like a soul in the moonlight. I don't give a fuck.
So I dare you. If it's me you wanna harm, G. Shots make your heart stop. I'm out in the heartbeat. Always on my feet, cause niggas snake for the right price. So in the dark streets, I keep it close like a nightlight. When I let it go, they taking off like a race. Niggas always rap. Why you think this mask on my face? Why you think I'm on this block making cash different ways? Dipping through these heads of shots, pushing back your
oh, you're gonna economically impact me? Oh, you couldn't do that. You've tried 10,000 different ways. I've bankrupted all of you. Bankrupted all of you. Anybody ever laughed at me trying to make a joke about me being broke? It's fucking so bummy. They turn to sucking dick and stealing things at dollar stores, eh? Pussy hole crusties. Crusties.
For all the niggas who are close by, if you ain't about it, please stay on the Lord's side. Big gun, eagle eye, that'll get your soul fried. Grind.
Nevertheless, we made it online.
Right. Tell all of your foes sides.
And I am infected as hell. Why wouldn't you want me to tell people that? I'm infected, stupid, and I'm trying to tell the fucking people that know me.
You niggas broke, I'm the man with the long gun. You're fucking with the wrong one. If my niggas broke, I'ma break bread. I'ma get you smoked out like a dope head. Nigga owe you from this chrome lead. You owe me, pay me, or I flip things. Anything I find is mine, then I'm a jack. Certain niggas shouldn't chip, better off with a chap. Certain niggas shouldn't grip freeze when they see fence.
Freeze when they see Goonies. Me and my homeboys is tuned in. We only get it. I don't give a fuck if you get or not. We're not slipping, but you're gonna be hitting some black ice, you little pussies. I give a fuck with you pussies.
Got me feeling so lucky. Still feeling cursed cause I sleep with a dumpy. You niggas all sweet and me and my munchies.
Lonely streets, I think that was just poetic license. For driving stolen cars with no insurance. Fuck, man, what the fuck is this? Yeah, you know how cardboard is just always jumping out for no reason, eh? Like, just, it's normal to just pop out for no reason like that, eh? That just happens all the fucking time, eh? There's no point in the fucking
John Gotti, CTM Music Group, baby. Woo!
So Canada's closed, knock on to the door.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the paper, I'm just trying to get rich. We do it for the big face, dead presidents. I got a Lamborghini green, still got the famous tips.
I started timing, but it says 7.5 hours. I don't know.
Rolling through the city, got a Louis Lowe's on, and I know these motherfuckers, yeah, I get my smoke on. Streets, strong, bust out the bomb, smoking all day, flipping bricks by the yard. And you can try to do it, don't switch your day job. The streets need just to make the times real hard. That's why I got all these tattooed scars. Chilling in the city bars, rolling in the fancy cars, sweating out the superstar. Yeah, I look like a model, B-I-O-R. Money in the rubber band, stack it till you can't work. Yeah, I got the trade patterns, got a real loud pop. I do my dirt in the dark,
Fucking do it broad day.
got so many toys, AK, just stay
Short range, long range.
Let's stay no brain. Who am I kidding, motherfucking crime face? Yeah, we trying to get
Got that grease?
trying to get rich. We want some big face, dead presidents. I got a Lamborghini dream, still got Mercedes Benz. And yes, some of our friends for a way. You gotta get it how you live life is like this. And yes, I need 36, a whole fucking brick.
Still tons of flashback moments to come on TV and radio to fill the gap. So
Oh yeah, COVID-19 is affecting everybody, not just me. Yeah, I give up. I'll call it COVID-19 because it's a catchy name. It's a catchy name. COVID, come here, COVID. Sick him, COVID, sick him. Stop breathing on me, COVID, your breath stinks.
The second you step inside, and a dog who meticulously wipes down his paws after all his walks and romps.
I don't believe that. You got a cat. You got a cat, and you overfed it till it got huge, and you think it's a dog.
When you spend $500 or more on patio furniture,
If a dog is wiping his feet, it's because you left something nice and clean laying around, and he pawed at it.
What has 4 wheels and flies, huh?
Dad.
A garbage truck.
They're still open.
One more.
They're still open. You can't sit inside. The woman is not sick, I know for a fact. Or she's asymptomatic.
Don't drive a DAC fan.
Fucking
Get the new 2020
$2, 20
Ford
ounces.
Standard Ford Copilot 360 and style to spare. Right now, you can get 0% purchase financing on all 2020 Explorer models, and that's no joke. Visit your local Ford store.
The street sweepers keep the clusters moving, so they ain't standing there fucking smoking, man. Coughing and hacking
I'm
and shit.
Chris McCusker.
We keep 'em
Here's
moving.
something to think about as coronavirus continues to change our world. A survey taken before the outbreak became a pandemic shows our relationship with money is different depending on our age. The survey was done
Really?
by Edward Jones Canada. David
Really?
Gunn is country leader.
With the boomer generation, which is age 55 to 75, they identified in Canada as the highest percentage
they were all
of
over
savers
60.
at 62%. I think a couple reasons for that. One is simple life expectancy today. It's 82 years old. It's longer for women. So boomers are saving more because of this longer life expectancy. So I thought that was really interesting. With respect to millennials, 25 to 39 years old, 42% of millennials, and this was the highest percentage that regarded themselves as spenders, was the millennial group.
But we do have one thing in common.
We asked an interesting question. If you came across a $10,000 windfall of cash, what would you do with it? 49% of respondents, and it was virtually the same percentage across every generation, said that they would use that money to pay down debt.
And it makes sense because we are one of the most indebted nations in the world.
We are. Today, in Canada, households have $1.76 of debt for every $1 of disposable income. And that's up 100% from 20 years ago.
And you motherfuckers think I'm broken, bummy? Ole!
Compared to the United States. Well, in the U.S. today...
No wonder you're always trying to get free shit off me. Ole, trying to front shit all the time. I ain't got it. But I don't owe nothing on it either. You want me to go borrow shit to give it to you, eh?
Leader with Edward Jones Canada. And at the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker. Being right matters.
So if our weather forecast is off by more than 3 degrees,
You could win cash.
details at 680news.com. The Government of Canada and public health experts are taking action to protect Canadians from COVID-19. Protect yourself and others, especially those with medical conditions and older adults. Wash your hands often. Avoid touching your face, Cough or sneeze into your arm and disinfect surfaces. You should also avoid crowded places. Avoid all non-essential travel outside of Canada. And if you're sick, stay home. To learn more, visit canada.ca.
That's what you said. Don't go outside of Canada and then stay home. That means the same thing.
The Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs is taking proactive measures to support efforts to reduce the spread of the
all that thing about the boomers, the catch is, they psychologically they want to save more. If you compare dollar to dollar at par, they're saving more. If you compare what they used to earn to what they earn now, they're saving a lot less. They literally, what's really happening is they're spending more and more basically on healthcare is what it comes down to simplify. Oh, they have to have a car, insurance and all that, yeah, because they can't walk fucking everywhere. They're getting old. They have to pay more for the organic food and things. Yeah, they do. It costs. It all costs. So yeah, the boomers is trying to save more. They're in a position to try to build more wealth, but they spend it
across the region right now. -9 in Richmond Hill and a clear sky. -7 in Brampton.
This shit is creepy.
Over in
this shit is creepy.
Mississauga -7, -6 in Milton, -5 in Oakville. But gets right back cold again in Cambridge, -8.
It's right back cold again.
In Mount Forest at this time, it's -10. Orangeville's -10 as well. And in Shelburne, -10. With a -9 in Brantford. Right now, downtown, -7, but feeling more like -13 with the wind. It is sunny, but really cold out there. 680 News Time.
Yeah, well, it's windy. It's windy. We got a bite to it.
Traffic and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
You listen on the details, Mr. Radio Man.
Saturday, March 21st. I'm Leah
I knew that.
Bodenstein, here's what you need to know right now. The 49th parallel is now closed to tourists.
49th parallel.
COVID-19 cases in
Cutting
Canada.
MCs like McMillan Blodell.
Canada's Labour Minister asking employers across the country to step up safety measures as we try and get a handle on the COVID-19 pandemic.
And do what?
Seemingly starting to get a handle on their coronavirus outbreak.
All they can fucking do is you can go home if you want. That's all we got.
Only experience mild
That's all they can
symptoms
do.
and will recover. This as the country goes 3 days straight without a new case. The TTC announcing
Which one,
they
China?
will be waiving all cancellation fees for Presto users with 12-month passes.
Leafs fans can relive some not Sunday magic tonight on Sportsnet.
Wait, what's that got to do with anything?
Lewis Hamilton has been self-isolating.
How does that? That's not relevant. Of all the things I heard so far, that's you're gonna waive cancellation fees. Why? Did the person who died? The pass is transferable.
The client to the showroom through technology.
680 News Time, 10:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. With a look at your drive.
Got this girl screaming and yelling at me, calling me a goof and a piece of shit because I won't come running up to her and lean my face in there and open the fucking door for her. I'm infected. Oh, go to the hospital.
Things are moving
Right.
quite nicely. Just a construction note. It's on
This
Shepherd,
building's
both
infected.
ways between Oakdale to east of the
They
400.
ain't talking about
That is down
it.
to a
They
single
ain't
lane
talking
because
about it,
of
but there's so
construction.
many fucking
Over
people in and out of
844
here.
million people worldwide.
Government trucks and
still don't
things.
have access
They're marked
to
Ontario.
clean
That's all they're
drinking
marked.
water.
They don't say
Will
what
you
they're doing.
Visit waterambassadorscanada.org to learn how
There's
you
an
can make a
infection in the
difference
building.
today. Your next traffic report is coming up at 10:11. But right now, let's get
10:11.
Here's Carl Lim.
All my
Good morning,
trafficking is
Colette. Good morning,
reported at
everybody. It is going to
10:11.
be a really enjoyable day across the GTA. Sunshine and a high of +1. Lighter winds as well. So not nearly as warm, but not as windy. So it's a trade-off of sorts as we head into first full weekend of spring. And temperatures tonight drop to -7 under a clear sky. Right now it is -8 still out at Pearson, feeling like -15. Throw on that
Dude,
extra
burn
layer.
myself.
Today's guaranteed high +1.
680 News Time, 10:02.
The Canada-U.S. border now officially closed to non-essential
Officially.
travel as both countries try to reduce the spread of COVID-19.
This all coming after the number of cases across the country.
So you can't
continue
have
to
your
rise.
American
680's
pennies back,
Asher
sir.
Roth now
No,
joining
no.
us live.
They will stay
He has
here.
the very latest. Asher. Zach, it will be at least 30 days before you'll be able to cross the border into the U.S. if you were hoping to check out the Grand Canyon or head to your favorite mall.
Fuck would I go
That
look at a
doesn't include
fucking
trade.
sewage
Goods will
ditch
continue
for,
to cross the
man?
border.
Jesus
Other
Christ.
exceptions
I
include
live on a
professionals or
sewage
anyone that
ditch.
works on one side and
The
lives on the
Canadian
other side of the
basin
border.
drains out
Prime
right
Minister
there,
Justin
right?
Trudeau also providing the details on a new agreement between Canada and the U.S. We will now be returning.
You keep your germs on your side, and we will keep our germs on our side.
at the Canada-U.S.
Okay, hey, don't look at me when you talk. Look that way.
Saying human rights matter even in the middle of a pandemic. Canada now has over 1,000 cases of COVID-19. British Columbia has
Watertown Treaty. Now, being who we are, we're not going to enforce that in this case because it would be a public health pandemic.
Also announced Canada's 13th death, but details on that patient are limited right now. Here at home, as local officials confirmed over 30 new cases on Friday for a total of 161. The University Health Network, which runs 5 hospitals in the city, including Toronto General and Toronto Western, they're now barring visitors, saying exceptions will be made for compassionate reasons.
And the fucking crackhead fools who want to tell me to go to the hospital. Right. I caught it in the building. How about I bring it to the fucking hospital?
With the province to provide childcare for essential workers such as
this shit
emergency responders. He also plans to work with restaurants to help keep food banks up and running, with both donations and volunteers scarce in the midst of the outbreak.
Far too many people are likely
fuck you!
Right
you
now,
fucking losers use that food bank, spend your money on dope, and still try to borrow shit out. Borrow.
So this is all about
it's a fraudulent loan application because you have no intention of paying it back.
Continue to receive it.
No offense, I know the vast majority of people are not scamming the system. Right now, you don't need nothing. Stay home.
Seniors' home in Markham were awaiting official confirmation. The province
you know how much food is being given away because they can't sell it? They can't sell it. They're giving it away.
Premier Ford's expected to.
You don't need a fucking food bank.
Asher Roth, 680 News.
The federal labor minister is calling on all employers who are still operating during the COVID-19 pandemic to go above and beyond standard health and safety measures to make sure their workers are safe. In a statement released this morning, the minister says she understands the coronavirus is a new phenomenon, but under the law, employers have an obligation to identify risks and ensure employees are not exposed to conditions that could be harmful to their health.
You can't fire
Many stores across the country have closed their doors already due to provincial states of emergency or the advice of officials. For workers who have to stay at home and self-isolate, take care of your loved ones, or are out for work, the minister notes the government will be providing supports as part of the $82 billion financial aid package that was announced earlier this week.
680 News Time, 10:05. Well, with millions of textbooks firmly shut amid this extended March break, the province is hoping that students will keep up with their literacy and math skills online. The Ministry of Education unveiling the temporary e-learning program yesterday called Learn from Home. That includes a website for high school students containing essential courses like math and science. And while for the younger learners, the government is leaning in on TiVo to broadcast more educational programs instead of cartoons.
What the fuck is TiVo? This is Canada, you moron.
Won't go toward final grades. The education minister says
we know what it is. We just don't use them.
To bring back teachers into the
mix. We got Rogers PVR HD boxes. What that is? No,
CBC at the board is actively exploring options when it comes to the technology at hand and whether or not every student will be able to use that technology from home.
And concerns are growing about a big dip in blood donations as a result of the COVID-19 outbreak. The vice president of Medical Affairs for Canadian Blood
Services tells CBC
that they've seen a drop
blood they use today isn't being donated today. This is from before. If you want to be prepared, donate blood when things are good.
To spread about the coronavirus pandemic, and he assures anyone considering giving blood that the organization has enhanced cleaning procedures. Waiting room chairs have also been moved further apart in name of social distancing. Although the service is urging helping Canadians to roll up their sleeves
5 or 6 chairs on a frame,
feeling sick or is in quarantine
bolted
should
together.
Stay at home.
You get a guy with a wrench to unbolt half of them, you're fucking lying.
In the U.S., tens of millions of people in 4 big states are coming to terms with their governor's orders that they stay home indefinitely with exceptions for essential jobs, errands, and some exercise. ABC's Tom Yamas has the very latest from the biggest state under a virtual lockdown.
This morning, almost 40 million Californians waking up to a new normal. We direct a statewide.
Oh, Cali's not normal, bro. Cali is the new normal.
Allowed out for essential trips only, including the grocery store and the pharmacy for medicine.
It's a classic.
Governor Newsom predicting if the virus is not contained, 56% of the state's population, more than 25 million people, will have the virus in the next 8 weeks.
New York, Illinois, and Connecticut later following California's
lead. Old man, the first one I ever seen wearing a mask this time around.
Now more than 17,000 confirmed cases in the United States and more than 200 have died.
Everyone around the globe is doing their
Said
part to
50
fight off the
million people on
coronavirus
something you
pandemic,
saw on the
and
internet
some
would likely
countries
be
are hit
infected.
harder
I was
than
like, that
others.
number sounds
680's Joey
high.
Keeney joins us with the
Sound high
latest
now?
from
That was what, 2
the
months ago?
worldwide numbers.
China had their third consecutive
pay
day
attention to
without
what
a
old
new
people say and do.
COVID-19 infection. Here's
only gotta
Dr.
tell you
Mike
once.
from the World Health Organization.
There's a message of hope there from China. And that's a message of hope to many countries around the world who have very low numbers of cases right now and who can turn this virus back.
And after 627 deaths on Friday, Italy is now much further past China's death toll. This comes as Italy called in their military to help enforce the quarantine. ABC's Megan Williams is in Italy, and she says the people there are resilient.
You know, you find ways of coping like that by connecting with friends online.
As in they've been down the lockdown fascist state before road before.
324 more deaths, pushing their total to over 1,300. Australia closed their popular Bondi Beach after crowds ignored warnings and flocked to the sands. An official with Australian police saying this is disappointing and that the Health Act must be complied with. I'm Joey Keeney.
No, you should have educated people in school about disease. You didn't because you used disease. Australia,
because of
Canada,
COVID-19, more and more people are practicing
Germany,
social distancing,
Italy,
and that means them taking less
see where I'm going with
transit.
this?
The public transportation company says people who cancel their plans may still get a notification that they owe
because it was in your favor for them to be dirty.
Those messages are automated and should be ignored. A heads up, though, the last day to cancel your plan and avoid the fees is tomorrow, March 22nd.
Still ahead, we'll take a look at the price of the pumps coming up next.
So, what's the point of that? You can cancel your 1-year Presto Pass without paying a cancellation fee? There's a fee? I have to let you take money out of my bank account or pay a fee? What if I just close the account, take the money out? Because then it'll bounce, and the bank won't be able to collect, because what are they going to do? They're not going to give you the money, because the money don't exist.
Even if in power of sale, simply apply in just 3 minutes anytime at savers.ca.
I'm going to wait a month, brethren, because I think these houses are going to get cheap.
That's 416-493-1983.
Yeah, you could say I smoke too much, whatever. Mind your own business. The coffee I'm having ain't from this.
Price update. Enpro predicts the price of gas will go down by 4 cents at midnight to 73.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Still
it's already in the 60s in some places a couple days ago.
680 News Time 1010.
I just love driving and getting caught in the middle of a blizzard.
It's totally arbitrary. The price is totally arbitrary.
Said no one ever. Be weather ready with the Corolla. Now with available Safety Connect system to provide 24/7 emergency response. With 8 different Corolla models to choose from, now's the time to Toyota. Lease the 2020 Corolla L for as low as $68 weekly at 2.99% APR for 48 months with $0 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer for details. Some conditions apply.
4 days and 16 hours left on the battery? For real? I don't believe you.
Was creating a better television experience for Canadians.
There was no cable. We created it the hard way. We built it.
With the launch of Rogers Cable, he united us all to laugh, to cheer, and to witness the world around us. 60 years ago.
Damn, you had 5.5 days off a battery charge? For real?
The people, places, and things that matter most, and to make more possible for all of us.
You can make my
COVID-19 beats grandfather Glock. COVID-19 beats grandfather Glock.
Together on the ones. With a look at your drive, here's Colette Desjardins.
This report brought to you by 407 ETR, and the 407 moving nicely.
It's 10-11.
City. Same goes for the 401. Haven't seen any problems on the Gardner or the Don Valley Parkway. Looking at the cameras, the drive is moving very nicely right now, and the QEW has been wide open all morning long between Burlington and the Mississauga area. If you're on Shepherd, don't forget
everything is wide open.
Construction from Oakdale to Laura.
You want to drive somewhere? Go for it. Change your mind? Who cares? Turn around and go.
Healthcare workers and essential
services. Walk down the middle of the street.
Working tirelessly.
Do it. You want to stand in the middle of the intersection for a couple minutes?
Through difficult
go
times.
for it.
407ETR.com.
Oh, there's cars.
Stay safe.
There's about as much traffic as I see out of Marmara
at 10:21
in the summertime on the dirt
Here's
roads.
And we're starting to warm up again. Temperatures heading up to -7 now, so that's an improvement from where we've been for the past 2 hours out at Pearson International. So temperatures climbed to +1 today. It's going to be a slow climb to our daytime high temperature, but areas to the north like Barrie and Innisfil, areas like Orangeville, you will see temperatures around -2 for a daytime high. So cooler up north again.
I'm pissed off because every time I touch the screen, it vibrates, and I can't find the fucking setting to turn it off. The more I look, the more it vibrates.
As you
It's
travel
some kind of psychological torture there.
And then as we head into tomorrow, temperatures get up to +1 again, similar to today, lots of sunshine, and then we will start to see more cloud cover rolling in by the evening hours, and that is the leading edge of some snow that's coming back to the GTA. Right now, -7 at Pearson, feeling like -11. Today's guaranteed high, +1.
680 News Time, 10:13. The federal government says it's suspending passport services until further notice because of COVID-19. Canadians will only be able to obtain or renew passports if they need to travel for urgent reasons. Those include serious illness,
the biggest gang in the world
humanitarian
now.
work, or
It's gonna be the Maple Leafs, motherfuckers.
Still ahead on 680 News, we take a look at
we don't have ID, we don't have passports, we don't have insurance, we don't have driver's licenses, we don't have license plates, we don't have registrations, we don't have anything, sir. How many of there are you? We don't know.
Frequent urination and sexual dysfunction. Prostate 1 from Avocal. Feel and perform your best.
Where are you from?
Prostate
North.
1, wherever natural health products are sold.
Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci. Next time you order, try our charcoal-infused pizza.
No, that sounds disgusting. Infused means it's in the fucking food. That's what that means. You know when you eat charcoal is when you fucking eat poison and you need to get it out.
Prostate 1 from Avocal, a once-a-day traditional herbal medicine for men suffering from symptoms of enlarged prostate, such as frequent urination and
Why is
sexual
it
dysfunction.
vibrating?
Prostate 1 from Avocal. Feel and perform your best. Prostate 1, wherever natural health.
That's what I want. Every time I touch it, I want it to shake and move. Every time I touch it, this machine, which is notorious for misreading what I touch.
Studio, but don't let that fool you. It is very, very chilly. -7, feeling closer to -13 with that wind chill. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Leah Johansson, and here are the top stories this hour. The Canada-U.S. border now closed to all non-essential travel, all in an effort to stop COVID-19 from spreading. Meantime, BC reporting the province's 9th coronavirus-related death. And the federal labor minister is calling on all employers who are still operating to go above and beyond standard health and safety measures to make sure their employees are safe. Coming up after sports, we'll take a look at some of the other stories we've been following this morning with 680's Mitch Burke. 680 News Time, 10:15. Time now for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Maria St-Aubin.
Tonight, Sportsnet is throwing it back to October 14th, 2006.
What a horrible fucking year, eh? Oh, man. Fuck off.
That was Leafs captain Mats Sundin scoring his 500th career goal to lead Toronto to a 5-4
Give a fuck about it. Some white boy playing hockey. It wasn't relevant. It wasn't relevant. Nobody gave a fuck. Remember the strike, the NHL strike? Yeah, we weren't watching hockey. Nobody was.
Meanwhile, in the present, last
Especially
night,
not to make me
Adrian
laugh.
Wojnarowski was reporting that the NBA will pay players' salaries due April 1st, but has yet to commit to payments that would be due April 15th.
Hey, brethren, you got billions of amongst you got billions. Millions of dollars, big houses, cars, all those things. You're not going to get nothing taken away from you. Donate your fucking salary, you pussy holes. Go buy some food and give it out or some shit, you fucking pieces of shit. Oh, you could bounce a ball and hit a black thing with a stick. Right. Can you do that for 10 years? 5 years? 4? Can you do it for 4 years, brethren? No, I'm not impressed.
Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour. For any time at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 10:17. Sports this hour brought to you by HP Office Jet Pro.
You need an HP in your office? I could jet over to it that because I'm a pro.
And with it will come all the usual paperwork and madness. Don't worry. Staples and HP can help. Get up to $120
You got the pasta
off
too, the pasta
HP
and cheese, the
OfficeJet
pasta
Pro
sausage,
9000
cheese, and
series printer,
macaroni.
and get an additional $40 off if you trade in your old printer. Buy the HP OfficeJet Pro 9000 series in store or at staples.ca. But don't wait. This offer is only valid until April 9th. Right now, Nissan has something special just for you. It's the Nissan Rogue Special Edition.
I'm a sucker for you.
Loaded with standard features like Apple CarPlay, heated seats, heated steering wheel, and more. So you can make every
I don't go in the coffee shop.
special.
I don't go in.
Finance the Rogue Special Edition from 0% for 84 months. Find out more at
I'm telling you people how sick I am and go get some coffee. So I don't go in the coffee shop.
680 News Time, 10:18. And this just into 680 News. The International Ice Hockey Federation confirming this morning on its website it's canceled the World Hockey Championships as a result of the COVID-19 outbreak. The tournament was set to take place in May in Switzerland. Stay with 680 News for more on that developing story. And we've got our eyes on a couple of other stories topping headlines right now. Our Mitch Burke joining us live now with this 680 News in brief. Mitch.
Well, Leah, the first-degree murder trial of Caitlin Schlater has now been turned over to the jury. Deliberations got underway at the University Avenue Courthouse on Friday afternoon. Schlater is accused of sexually assaulting and strangling Tess Ritchie back in November of 2017. After weeks of picketing and months without a contract, a tentative agreement between the province and elementary teachers has been reached. Details still under wraps, but the education minister says the government committed to maintaining class sizes, full-day kindergarten, and a, quote, fair increase in wages. ETFO is the second major union after Catholic teachers.
You ain't got nowhere to work.
A deal since the labor unrest began.
You idiots fucked up the whole year for these kids. You fucked around for the first
performer whose career spanned some 6
decades
has died. The Houston
fucked around for the first 6 months of a school year. With what, 8 or 9 months?
And was the star of TV movies based on that 1978 hit, The Gambler. The 81-year-old was under hospice care. His family says he died of natural causes. Reporting live, Mitch Burke, 680 News.
Still ahead on 680 News, we'll take a look at the latest traffic and weather forecasts coming up in 60 seconds. 680 News Time, 10:20.
Toronto is enriched by publicly owned services that help make this the best city in the world. From librarians who help us research projects.
They're quoting the Star, supposedly quoting the United Nations, who never said it. This goes back to 94. It's the biggest fucking bullshit thing ever. It's never been the greatest city in the world to live in. The UN never said that. They never said it.
A message from the Canadian Union of Public Employees.
My husband coached soccer.
They're government. They're going to do what they want. They're a gang.
A serious spinal injury.
Unions in this country are mafiosos.
He's back to coaching again. He's not letting his wheelchair get in the way.
Dad just whistled. Gotta go.
Life is good again.
Don't let an injury take you out. Lamont Law will help you get back in the game. Your recovery starts at lamontlaw.ca.
I'm Michael Lamont. Personal injury is all we do.
Resolving
yeah, I need somebody to do some personal injury. That's all you do?
Trust, compassion.
680 News Time, 10:21. Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones with Colette Desjardins.
And this report brought to you by 407 ATR. Just having a look right now at the 401. And that's still moving well, likely traveled. Well, I should say it's lighter than normal at this time of day on a Saturday. So that's good news. If you're traveling on the Governor or the Don Valley Parkway, not seeing any troubles at all into and out of the downtown core. The 403 through Mississauga, that's in great shape right now. And even on the QEW, it's in great shape between Burlington and the Mississauga area. Just keep in mind, if you're on Shepherd, we do have a construction spot, and this is between Oakdale and Laura, which is east of the 400. It's down to a single lane. 407 ETR would like to thank all of the healthcare workers and essential services who are working tirelessly for our communities through difficult times. 407etr.com. Stay safe. Your next traffic report is at 10:31, but right now let's get the extended forecast. Here's Carl Lamb.
And it's quiet on the roads, quiet for us here in the Weather Center as well. It's a mostly sunny day. Temperatures getting to +1 down to -7 tonight with clear conditions. Tomorrow, very, very similar to today, mostly sunny and +1 expected. And we will have more clouds tomorrow evening. Winds also start to increase as well. And we'll drop to -1 for tomorrow. 4 degrees on Monday. It's a snow shower start to the day where we could see a trace to 1 centimeter, and then it changes over to rain for the west end and the Niagara region. So it's going to be a slushy accumulation. It won't really accumulate to a whole lot just because we will have temperatures,
you know what's happening?
Right around 4 degrees. So
these social workers must be going through people's houses that are sick and just cleaning everything, and laundry, whatever. That's where these bugs got to be fucking coming from.
Right now it is -7 at Pearson, -5 in downtown
Every
Toronto.
single one of them is fat with blood, but the little tiny things, why are they biting you if they're already fat with blood?
Coming up at 10:30, we will have the latest on
They obviously never came across me or someone like me before, because most bed bugs can smell. My blood is no
provincial health
good.
officials at 10:30, but again, those updates have been delayed before, so we will see what we get at 10:30. Of course, 680 News is keeping a very close eye on that. We'll also have an update.
I'm still thinking it's 8 o'clock, trying to fucking make this goddamn box work.
Canada border gets shut down. That happened over midnight tonight, or last night rather. We have all of the details coming up at 10:30.
Watch, I'm gonna try
Hi,
to adjust this. I'm gonna fuck it up or something.
My friends at Canadian
Wonder what happens if I unplug the camera while I'm live.
Push the limits of science and engineering with their patented draft lock windows. Their superior insulation keeps
come on, hook and loop fastener, no name brand hook and loop fastener.
for windows and doors.
Yeah, there's, see how bright that shit is? That's my window.
Glass upgrade on Draft Lock Plus. Visit WindowsCanada.com.
Alright, what was I gonna do with this?
To 680 News.
Oh.
680 News time, 10:24. This portion of news is brought to you by Aaron Park Lexus. And March break is now over, but because schools are staying closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's up to parents to ensure their kids are learning
Earth
from home.
Hour, 7 days from now.
Is getting some homeschooling tips from the experts.
Although some parents are going to throw themselves into homeschooling mode and flood your Instagram feed with color-coded charts, that's not going to be realistic for everyone. History
Can you just
teacher
teach your
Nicholas
kids math?
Baroni tells the
Teach them
Today
math.
Show it's
They don't
good
even
to
have to
a
speak
schedule,
English if they can
but
do
be
math.
flexible.
Don't make them wake up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock again. Let them sleep.
Get them a big jar of pennies and get them a big jar of pennies and nickels and things. Teach them how to count.
Your child do their work.
Fourth grade teacher Michelle Beret says the school closure is a good time to focus on things besides academics.
Just give them time to be creative. So often we don't get enough time to do that in school.
Beret says even household chores like cooking can offer opportunities for teaching math and literacy.
Yes.
Catherine Jete,
Brethren,
680
math.
News.
Still ahead, we'll take a look at the weekend business report coming up in 60 seconds.
They know you're not gonna need none of this
680
formal
10:25.
training. If this shit hits the fan much longer, you're gonna need math. How many people we got? How much water we got? You know, but this ain't working for you. This ain't working. We'll fuck with this later.
Are just very warm, and they want you to experience the experience of Lexus, and we really enjoyed that part of it. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Why is it tilted left and right and shit, man?
2020 RX 350s with 1.9% lease rates up to 39 months.
Hello, it's Jeff from Reliance Home Comfort. We know things are uncertain right now, but if you need furnace, water, or plumbing help, we're here for you. Understanding the seriousness of the current situation, we're taking great pains to make sure that any visit to your home is safe for you as well as our Reliance team members. So if you find yourself in need of a heating or plumbing professional, we're here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As always, when you need help you can trust, just call on Reliance.
680 News time, 10:26. Time now for the weekend business report.
I'm Mike Apple. So what do you do if you're a company that has relied on in-home sales presentations in a time of social distancing? Well, you bring the client to the showroom, but in a virtual setting. Alan Grant is the VP of Sales with Dodds Garage Doors.
Basically what happens is the customer will call in and we set up an appointment. And we bring them into a showroom virtually, and we show them products. We show them the doors. We show them the quality. We show them the colors. We answer questions. And it's a really good interaction between us and our customer, just like if we're sitting in the
I need a garage door with a peephole in
they
it,
could be
brethren.
sitting in the comfort of their own home, sitting in their lazy boy chair.
And I need to be able to lock it 1 foot off the ground.
There's no physical contact, and they can do it right over the computer.
Grant says they've had to adjust rapidly to the changing market circumstance.
Because we've had people who we took sales calls with probably from a few weeks ago, and they're calling to cancel. We tell them, would you want to have a virtual presentation? And they said, oh, you can do that? And we said, of course we can. And yeah, we're getting the bugs out, but you know what? We're selling doors. We're definitely selling doors. And our presentations, now that the word is getting out there, our presentations
sell doors. Just walk around looking for places with no door. Hey, excuse me, hello, would you like to buy a door? Prevent people like me from coming in here?
You know, we're starting to go away from the brick and mortar as the millennials are taking over, or they want to shop online. And as you say, this is probably a springboard in towards that. Yes, we still would have to go out and do a site check and get the proper measurements and everything, but they don't have to be there. But this is the way of the future, and if we can get the jump on the competition, if we can get out there and be able to offer this to our customers, I think it's going to be a major plus.
That's Alan Grant, VP of Sales with
know how to find out what this fucking coin is. The one with the temple on it.
This spring at Mississauga and Rexdale Hyundai, Zero is the real
It's
hero.
gonna involve asking people what I'll
New
figure it out.
Hyundai with help from Zero. Right now, get the Hyundai Advantage with an incredible 0% lease and 0% financing on select Hyundai models. That also means zero stress, zero worry, and zero doubts on where to get your next Hyundai. Mississauga Hyundai or Rexdale Hyundai. Go ahead, thank Zero. It's the slam dunk deal of the year. Oh, and Navatia, the super fan. Visit MississaugaHyundai.com or RexdaleHyundai.ca for details.
Challenge yourself this spring and reach new heights by climbing the CN Tower with WWF Canada. Sign up today for WWF's CN Tower Climb for Nature on April 4th and 5th. Take Toronto's tallest challenge and climb for wildlife. Enjoy a great day with amazing views and prizes. WWF.
Let's get a few thousand people huffing and puffing up 1,800 steps. It's one long stairwell. Huff and puff and breathe in and out over. It's bad enough that you're in the elevator with these people for 60 seconds.
You're listening to
Now you want to run up and down the steps with them? And while you're running up, other people, they're going up and then back down. So you're all passing each other. It's not like a little bit of contact. Everybody will come into contact with everybody else that does it.
March 21st.
You're fucking geniuses.
Good
You're
morning,
so
I'm Leah
healthy.
Johansen.
You're so healthy because once in a while you do something like that. 90-year-old, 90-pound grandmothers can lift a car if they have to.
BC reports Canada's 13th COVID-19 related death. Italy, facing the most deaths in the world from COVID-19, calls in their military, and China reports its third straight day without a new case of the virus. One of the most recognizable names in the hand sanitizer industry now facing two class action lawsuits that question just how effective that product really is.
And breaking news from the hockey world, the IIHF Men's World Championship in Switzerland now canceled due to COVID-19 concerns.
Hockey fans can still enjoy some NHL action tonight. Meanwhile, IIHF has canceled the Ice Hockey World Championship, and the NBA hasn't committed to paying its players past April 1st.
April Fools, motherfuckers!
The coronavirus shutdown is
But
the capability.
the same thought still applies. Hey, NBA, what are you doing with the money? What are you doing with the money? Look at all these people, the regular ass people out here wearing your gear. They bought your gear, they paid you money. What you gonna do for them? Anything? Fuck you.
Traffic and weather together on the ones with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports. Here's Colette Desjardins.
And Zach, you would agree with me? You do traffic. This is a traffic reporter's dream. Looking at the cameras, the drive is basically.
No, the traffic reporter wants all sorts of shit that he can fill you in on.
By Foodland, Ontario. In fact, the 401 still moving very nicely across the city both ways. Not seeing any delays whatsoever on the Don Valley Parkway or the Gardner Expressway as you head into or leaving the city. And the QEW, that's wide open between Burlington and Mississauga. No troubles on the 410, heading up to Brampton on the 400, up to Barrie, even on the 404, up to Newmarket. So the drive is definitely a good one. Foodland Ontario reminds you that Fresh Ontario apples are now available in stores, farmer markets, and on-farm markets. After all, good things grow in Ontario, paid for by the Government of Ontario. Your next traffic report is coming up at 10:41, but right now let's get the forecast. Hello, Carl Lamb.
Hello, Colette, and looking across the city today, lots of sunshine. What a beautiful start to the day as we look outside our studio. Sunshine is in abundance, but don't let that fool you. It is very cold to start off our Saturday. Temperatures right now -7 at Pearson, -5 at downtown. We had up to +1 today, mainly sunny, and then dropped to -7 tonight. So all in all, a cold day as we kick off the first official weekend of spring. Right now, again, -7 at Pearson, feeling like -11. Today's guaranteed high, +1.
680 News Time, 10:33.
The Canada-U.S. border now officially closed to all non-essential travel. That's in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19. We're expected to get another update this morning from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
By the way, our guns don't come from the U.S. They come from the countries that make them.
Province. 680's Asher Roth joins us live now with the latest.
We carry an American guns.
Yeah, Leah, and in fact,
Savannah, Georgia,
Ontario's health ministry has just provided a new update on Ontario's numbers, and they are staggering. 58 new cases have been confirmed here in Ontario. Now, these numbers have literally just rolled in. We can see 2 of them have been confirmed in Toronto, 1 in Durham, 1 in Ottawa, and there are 5 new confirmed cases in York region. A few other ones in the Simcoe-Muskoka region. Looks like a number of them are travel related, and the majority of these new cases are now in self-isolation. 1 has been hospitalized. That is a man in his 40s who traveled to England. He's up in Simcoe County. Now, as of midnight, the world's longest international border officially closed for non-essential travel. Public Safety Minister Bill Blair said it effectively bans tourists and bargain hunters.
We recognize the importance of workers getting to their important jobs. We recognize the importance of ensuring that we maintain the supply and goods that comprise the vital trade and supply chains that cross our borders each and every day.
BC also reporting a new death related to the virus. The province is 9th and Canada's 13th. And here at home, as mentioned, 58 new cases of COVID-19 in Ontario. The province's total now 377. Now, other news this morning, the University Health Network, which runs 5 of the city's hospitals, including Princess Margaret and Toronto General, it's announced that visitors are now barred, with exceptions being made for compassionate reasons. And Canada now has well over 1,100 cases. Prime Minister Trudeau is expected to speak.
And this fucking flows, oh, go to the hospital. What the fuck does that have to do with me not and opening the door for you? You live here? Where's your key?
Mostly business as usual at the St. Lawrence Market along the foot of the downtown core this morning. The popular city-run food market following their regular Saturday hours of 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. But in the name of social distancing, the market will be limiting the number of customers inside. All seating areas in the market have been removed, and merchants have been given the option of whether they'd like to stay open or shut down. In a statement, organizers say the market believes in the importance of local food systems and is committed to remaining open to provide food access.
680 News Time, 10:35. Now, dozens of Canadians left floating in limbo on board a cruise ship with coronavirus on board are now on their way home, and none of them have tested positive. Global Affairs Canada telling 680 News all the Canadians were screened for COVID-19 as they disembarked from the cruise ship over the last 2 days. That's the Costa Luminosa. But despite those results, all of them are still being told to self-isolate for 14 days when they arrive home. There are more than 1,400 passengers on the cruise ship bound for Florida to Venice, Italy. The ship docked in the French port city of Marseille, where close to half of all the passengers left the ship before it continued to its final destination. Now, Canadian passengers have all either arrived back home or will be home over the next few days.
680 News Time at 10:36. The Ontario Nurses Association is calling on the provincial government to strengthen guidelines allowing hospitals to get around the 14-day self-isolation protocols for frontline staff who have traveled. Janella Massa of City News with more.
City News. Okay, this email sent to staff at St. Mike's, St. Joseph's, and Providence hospitals. It says, if your job is critical to providing patient care and you cannot work from home, you should return to work while using personal protective equipment, actively self-monitoring for symptoms, and undergoing regular screening during the 14 days.
We find that very problematic in that people can be carriers and transmit
other health symptoms.
Our newsroom received numerous calls from healthcare staff concerned about their hospital's procedures, including a nurse from Sick Kids. Sick Kids did confirm to us that they are allowing staff to skip the self-isolation period after travel if they're deemed critical to the hospital's operations. Janelle Massa, City News. 680 News Time, 10:37.
Just so you know, all my leaves and flowers are double bagged, airtight.
Residents to stay home whenever
I ain't
possible.
opening and repacking nothing
Illinois,
right now.
and Connecticut later following suit. That means more than a quarter of the nation is now under a
You buy the
virtual
whole
lockdown.
thing or you buy
CNN's
nothing?
Erica Hill has more on what this means and how the White House is responding.
They will be here soon. We're having them shipped directly to states.
Critical supplies now.
Although
on
some
the
of my
way.
friends have
The
this same shit
president
too.
was
What do they
light
get?
on specifics. It's not clear when they'll arrive, nor where the White House is getting them. States, meantime, are moving swiftly to try to contain the virus. New York's governor mandating all non-essential workers stay home starting Sunday night. Any outdoor exercise.
Why not
must be
now?
alone.
What's this 2 days from now? We're gonna take action shit.
In Florida, some counties are now closing beaches as the governor.
They tell you 2 days from now, stop going to work.
Statewide.
Leave now. Drive the company truck home. Fuck them. What are they gonna do? Come get it? You can keep that.
This is a science issue.
And there are currently more than 17,000 confirmed cases in the U.S. The American epicenter now firmly in New York City, where the mayor fears medical supplies they have right now could only last another couple of weeks.
This is 680 News. And we have breaking news from the sports world. The International Ice Hockey Federation has announced that the Men's World Championship has been canceled due to ongoing COVID-19 concern. It's widely considered the biggest men's professional hockey tournament in the world, with many high-end NHL players going overseas to participate annually. A large collection of fans from Canada typically travel every year as well to cheer on their country. It was set to be played throughout May in Switzerland. Coming up in 30 seconds, we've got a check on the price of gas.
680 News Time, 10:39. Introducing Montfair by Fremont. A new mid-rise condominium residence coming soon to
Czechoslovakia, Socialistica Republica.
Parkland and a spectacular new urban park. Only minutes to the GO station.
When it's all done, this is all that's left. When it's all fucking said and done, this is all that's left. There's a drug dealer in that trap house looking at a little piece of scrap metal. That's all that's left. A token.
Shoppers Drug Mart is now extending its 20% seniors discount to the first opening hour of each day. This is in addition
Why not
to
just
its
give it to
regular
them
offer
every hour of every day?
in an effort to help senior
So
customers.
they can go in when it's
The
least
hour will
busy.
vary by store. Please see
That
store
would be
for
logical,
details.
shoppers.
Hey guys,
Oh, but you're a publicly traded company now. You just gotta maximize profit, eh?
That's why Untuckit makes shirts specifically
Oh, you're
designed
part of Loblaws now. Galen Weston. Oh.
Untuckit offers
The genius who wants to have people repacking everything to keep it safe. We're going to touch everything twice to keep you safe.
Untuckit.ca, where you can browse and purchase from our extensive new spring line.
He's as much of a scumbag as the Wynn family. The Wynn family is the slumlords, and the Weston family is the company store.
680 News Time, 10:41.
Oh, my soul to the company store.
Back to the
Know what I'm talking about?
Call that Desjardins.
Thanks, Zach. And this report brought to you by Lexus Dealers Association. Well, checking out the cameras, all the major highways around the Toronto area, in fact, around the GTA, definitely moving up the limit. So if you need to head out, the drive is definitely a good one this morning. Right now, we've got
And
construction
the only reason
on
people aren't
Shepherd both
speeding,
ways
they're not going to give the police
between
officer
Oakdale
a
and
reason to come up to the
That's
car
just
with it.
east of
That's it.
400
They don't give a fuck about the
down to
ticket.
a single lane only until about July 31st. Lisa,
The cops are thinking the same thing.
RX
Don't give me a, don't make me come up to your fucking car window.
1.9% APR with
Damn it.
delivery credits of up to $2,000. Visit lexusgta.ca. Your next traffic report is at
Yeah, I'm a
10:51.
goof and a piece
Right
of
now, let's
shit
get
for
the
not
forecast.
infecting
Here's Carl Lim.
Miss Thing.
And
I hope
go
she
ahead
gets it
and
and
take a
dies,
breath of
eh?
fresh air today. It's going to be on the colder side, though. +1.
Well, I hope somebody she cares about gets it and
For us
dies,
to
eh?
get there, I think we'll eventually reach the plus side of the temperature board by about 3 o'clock today. But it's a mostly sunny day. Looking across the city, it is beautiful outside. So again, follow all those social distancing
like
measures.
A bird or a bear
really
or something.
A nice day for anything that you want to do, like take a walk or go for a jog.
You take a walk,
nice
buddy.
Day to do so. Down to -7 tonight, +1 tomorrow. And it is going to be very similar to today, except tomorrow evening. More clouds roll in, winds start to kick up a little bit. That means, precipitation is on the way as that high-pressure system moves off to the east and loses control of this beautiful weather we're experiencing. Right now, it's -7 at Pearson, -5 at 680 News. Today's guaranteed high +1.
680 News Time, 10:42.
And as we continue to social distance and self-isolate ourselves amidst this pandemic, countries around the world continue to fight the coronavirus as well. 680's Joey Keeney with the international COVID-19 situation.
China reported their 3rd day in a row with no new cases of the virus, and
according to them,
shows most people will get mild symptoms and then recover. Italy is calling on their military to help enforce their quarantine and make sure people stay home as the country passes China's death toll for the most in the world.
So I gotta wait till I stop showing symptoms, and then I got 14 more days that I don't understand. When do I stop shedding live virus? Did I stop shedding live virus because I'm not running nose or nothing?
Rushed to the region, and an American relief group has airlifted a field hospital. But there are fears it will not be nearly enough. And Italy's nightmare is now being shared by Spain. Deaths there soaring by 30% overnight. 199 fatalities in 24 hours. Over 1,000 total deaths.
I'm Joey Keeney. And the maker of one of the most popular brands of hand sanitizer now facing 2 class action lawsuits that question just how effective their product really is. The label on all Purell products state that it can kill 99.9% of illnesses causing germs, but the lawsuits contend that those claims are misleading because the science just isn't there to back it up. The Food and Drug Administration...
Yes, it is. It just doesn't kill viruses, and you're angry about that because you didn't study to know that a virus is not alive. It's like me. I'm already dead.
Suggesting that Purell could prevent the flu and even Ebola. The manufacturer could not be reached for comment. We've got sports coming up next.
Yeah, because he's dead from fucking COVID.
This is 680 News.
Subaru knows that predicting spring weather is anyone's guess. So we got a wrestler.
You morons go by the package label without looking at signs. Let's see what the package label says. 99%, 99.9% of bacteria or germs. The word germ doesn't mean anything. That's why it says or germs. Because if you're dumb enough not to know what bacteria is, you probably know what a germ is. Sanitized means 999 out of 1,000. Sterilized means 1,000 out of 1,000. That's why the difference between bleach and hand sanitizer.
Take these 5 easy steps to protect yourself. 1. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. 2. Cough or sneeze into your sleeve. 3. Avoid touching your face.
They finally stopped saying
4.
tissue,
Stay
eh?
home when you're ill.
And they've started saying no, don't use a
Heavily
tissue.
touched surfaces.
And don't slap someone on the back that's choking. And don't put butter on a burn.
This message is brought to you by the Ontario Medical Association.
I can't believe fucking 35 years later people still believe that shit.
Warming up a little bit, but still chilly out there. Feeling like -10 in downtown Toronto with the wind. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Zach Bodenstein.
And good morning, I'm Leah Johansson. Here's what's making news this hour.
Well, as of 11:59 last night, the Canada-U.S. border officially closed to all non-essential travel. Trade and commerce will be business as usual, though it's still a very significant
measure. That means the freight trains are running, brethren. They ain't gotta wait for the passenger trains because there ain't any.
And the United States. And one of the most breaking news, actually, from the hockey world, the IHF Men's World Championship in Switzerland has been canceled due to ongoing COVID-19 concerns. Still to come on 680 News, we are looking in at
wish I could just lick the resin off of.
He's got his eye on some other stories that are going on amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. But right now, it's time for 680 Sports at 10:45. From Sportsnet 590, The Fan, Maria St. Aubin.
We have another event canceled. The IIHF today announcing that the Ice Hockey World Championship has been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The event was set to begin May 8th in Switzerland. Meanwhile, there is some good news if you're a hockey fan.
You want to know why we chipped the Custies?
Throwing it back to October 14th, 2006.
Everything going on right now, and these assholes are still self-centered on getting high. You didn't open the door for me to get high. Fuck you! I don't even know you. I'm dying already, and I'm sick with a disease that can kill you, or more to the point, will kill people around you, because it probably won't kill you, but it will kill somebody. It'll make you the bearer of the fucking disease. That's why we chip them. We don't give a fuck. Fuck them.
Additional guidance regarding the April 15th payment.
That's how they're gonna act. They're gonna take the money.
The KHL, formerly Stephon Kronwall, is hanging up the skates. The 37-year-old defenseman played in 66 games in the NHL.
And if they die, that's between them and their God.
Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour. Running time at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 1047.
We believe in being accountable to you, the listener, which is why we're a member of the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council. As a member, we're committed to upholding the highest standards of broadcasting and adhering to specific codes of conduct. If you have a comment on what you've heard, contact us or visit the CBSC's website, cbsc.ca. We'll respond to your concerns and send you information on the council and its codes.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something bigger.
To show my kids what's important.
I joined to make my community stronger.
It's the Legion.
To make a difference in someone's life.
To acknowledge that our freedom.
Oh yeah, the $200 and some odd dollars.
To honor my mom.
To join an organization where I'm not allowed to go hang out.
Everyone who served.
No Indians. Period.
Honoring veterans is our duty. Join today at legion.ca/join.
No, I'm not giving you money, you pussy holes. You done. For how many years now you've been taking money? It's mine. I spend it on your people. You want me to give you money? I can't even come in and somebody can buy me a beer. Oh, not allowed.
He joins us live with the very latest. Mitch. That's right, Zach. Kenny Rogers, the Grammy-winning performer whose career spanned 6 decades, has died. The Houston-born singer.
If he didn't die of COVID, I don't give a fuck.
Undeniable silver beard sold tens of millions of records. He was the star of TV movies based on that 1978 hit, The Gambler. The 81-year-old was under hospice care. His family says he died of natural causes.
If you have to tell me it's a hit.
The trial of Kaylin Schlater has now been turned over to the jury. Deliberations got underway at the University Avenue Courthouse on Friday afternoon. Schlater is accused of sexually assaulting and strangling Tess Ritchie back in November of 2017. And after weeks of picketing and months without a contract, a tentative deal between the province and elementary teachers has been reached. Details still under wraps, but the education minister says the government committed to maintaining class sizes, full-day kindergarten, and a, quote, fair increase in wages. EDFO is the second major union after
it better not be more than 1%
to strike a deal since the labor
unrest began. Up them Jaguars in the school parking lot. I know how to get in that garage. I know. You get an underground parking garage. The kids got to walk through snow and slush and shit.
Those temperatures pretty chilly right now, but we're expecting them to heat up to a high of +1.
Whatever the increase was above board, that's how much you're going to spend on car damage and insurance.
Sales Ontario helped me get accessibility equipment like a stairlift so I can get to my bedroom on my own. I also have a power wheelchair so I can get around. Without it, I'd be stuck at home. When I grow up, I want to go to university and be a psychiatrist.
I don't believe you.
Easterseals kids can become unstoppable. Please donate today at easterseals.org.
Thanks so much for coming to babysit. My pleasure. So here's the fridge. Eat whatever you want. Okay. And this is Nathan's room. Oh, wow, it's so cute. Well, we just renovated. Oh, is Nathan sleeping? No, he's at his father's. So then who am I here to babysit? Thank you for dropping by, Chelsea.
It's okay to be proud of your
Chelsea.
This weekend at Rona, we pay the tax for you when you spend $100 or more. So you can spring into action. Do yourself proud with Rona. Conditions apply.
680 News Time, 10:51. Let's check your drive now. Here's Colette Desjardins.
Don't look good either, right? I don't mean like normal. I mean worse than
normal. Brought to you by Seneca. She's got
a whole lot of ugly showing, but it looks sick too, eh? 666 thugs.
It's approaching Avenue Road in the Express. There's a rolling tire within the left lane, so we're going to call NTO right away to get that. So be careful. If you're on the westbound 401, approaching Avenue Road in the Express, there was a rolling tire. At last check, it was in the left lane. Other than
just cruising along. Holy shit.
Any of the other 400 series highways, the Gardner and the Don Valley Parkway.
You gotta call and report all this.
Send the
I
students do
appreciate
the hard
that. That's
work
my
and
entertainment.
have the relentless commitment to take anything on. Take the
Tell
next
them
step
Suicide
and join
Drone
the
sent
Seneca
you.
crowd.
Tell them
Challenge
shout out Suicide
accepted.
Drone.
Your next traffic
There's a
report at 11
refrigerator door
Get the extended forecast.
and a Chesterfield. Shout out Suicide Drone.
+1 on both days, mostly sunny conditions, and tonight we dropped down to -7.
I'm waiting till it's a
Tomorrow
garage door.
we bring in
That Dodge door truck driving down the road.
Pick up a little bit. That's because that's the leading edge of our next system. And as we head into Monday, we start off with snow showers. Everyone's going to get a trace to a centimeter, possibly
Everyone,
up to
yeah.
2
This
centimeters
weather
at
is
this
for
point.
everybody.
But
It's
what's
not just for some of the
complicating is that
people.
there's that push of
Pay
warmer
attention.
air from
This
the
isn't like your
southwest.
normal weather.
That pushes temperatures up to 4 degrees. So then any of that snow turns into that slushy snow, and we do have rain for the west end and the Niagara region, so that a lot of it will melt there, but then it will be just that slushy accumulation. It may fall as snow, but land as a raindrop, that type of situation for Monday. And then for Tuesday,
It's the heat from all the hot air and all the sex and all the
degrees.
crash and crystal meth.
It is -7.
The snow, it's this bubble of hot air. It fucking melts. Sometimes it turns to, it'll fall. You'll see the water droplets stop midair and then evaporate. Like above the sewers, you'll see that. The rain will stop. It'll fucking evaporate before it hits the ground. I swear to God, you think I'm making this up?
Coming up at 11 o'clock, our coverage of the coronavirus will continue. The Canada-U.S. border now officially closed as of last night. So how does that impact you and the two countries? Our Rasher Roth will have all those details at 9
I don't
o'clock,
sell nothing to the U.S. I don't buy nothing from the U.S.
in terms
I
of
give a
cases.
fuck about
680
the
News Time,
U.S.
10:53.
Pussy hole gang
Feel like to play
gangsters.
Lotto
Get the
649?
fuck out of here.
Well, with an upcoming jackpot of an estimated $5
We
million,
got Jangani.
just
We
have
got
the
Vito
tickets
Rizzuto.
below at
Go
that
fuck
moment
yourself.
between. And so get that 649 feeling. Buy your ticket today to feel the anticipation that comes with a chance to win a jackpot of an estimated $5 million, plus the guaranteed $1 million prize.
Know the moment it happens. Subscribe to 680 News breaking news alerts on your mobile. Powered by the Monitor
I gotta
Center
chop
of
a half
Security.
quarter or
Visit
something.
680news.com.
As of today, Brampton Transit will be free. Riders will only be able to board through the rear doors of buses until further notice to help stop the spread of coronavirus. Those with accessibility needs are exempt if they need to use the front door ramp. Bus loads will also run only at half full. And once they reach half capacity, stops will be bypassed and anyone waiting will be left behind. On bus routes, articulated buses will be brought in as well. Your weekend
This is
business
brought in,
report
like you didn't already own them. Like you didn't buy them 8 years ago, or whatever the
Find out
fuck.
what to wear. The best weather reports in the city every 10 minutes on 680 News.
Hi, I'm Chef Mark McEwen. Here to talk about my new store, McEwen.
Buses are weird. The engine is in the back, which is effectively a trailer, but the drive wheels are on the back of the front unit.
Of restaurant quality prepared foods. Stop by for fresh produce, specialty ingredients, and do try my house-made recipes. There's 1 hour free parking available, and you can even order ready-made meals online at McEwenCatering.com. We look forward to serving you at One Bloor East.
Hi, I'm Cherry Tabb, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. We're taking every possible precaution to keep you safe. That's why the Herzig Eye Institute is pausing elective surgery
Okay,
for
as
the
a
time
drug
being.
dealer, I gotta know. I sell things that people consume. I need to know how long this virus
And by phone to keep you
survives.
fully informed about our
In
refractive
the, like, on a
cataract
surface.
and laser vision correction services, and to schedule and reschedule your Herzig appointments. Google high definition vision and sign
Although
up
then
for
again,
the
everybody I
log
know
so we
has
can
already
stay
been exposed.
connected.
What the fuck do I
Look
care?
after
You
yourself.
see, I'm not well. I'm
Promise
not
me.
thinking.
680 News Time,
Sickness the agent. I'm trying to
10:56.
fucking not
Let's get a look
spread
at
it,
your
right?
weekend business report. Coverage from Southern. It's
Well,
been
let's try
central
script.
banks
We
to
were
the
gonna do this
rescue
yesterday.
amid
Oh, I
this
still got the pipe.
financial
You know what? If I
crisis
heat up that
all
pipe
over
a
the
couple
world,
times,
the
I'll get
banking
some out of
community
it.
to the US
That'll
Fed,
straighten me
the
out enough
European
to make a
Central Bank. What
joint.
they've been doing,
We'll do this.
essentially, is turning on their printing presses. They've been creating money out of thin air and using it to buy financial instruments to stabilize markets. Jeff
Thumbs
Castle
up if you
is
know what
from
we're talking
Inter
about.
Capital, and he
You don't have
points
to
out
like the
something
video.
we may
Just
forget. While the virus is real and physical, money
timestamp it. 1 hour, 8 minutes, whatever. Thumbs up because of. We understand what he's talking. They're talking about.
Around different ports of the Mediterranean, found that trading silver pieces was a good way to trade spice for rice and that kind of thing. But over the years, we've departed from the
What do I have here? I have, how about this one?
The precious metals backed currencies. And, since the 70s, we've been living in this world of
pretty sure it's dinar, but
fiat currency works because people believe it works, and because it circulates, and that's what people get paid. But,
the guy in the back is wearing glasses and his head's upside down. So there's two things I don't like about this coin.
And as a result, you can whip up as much as you need with a computer at any one time, and that's kind of the answer why the numbers in finance over time always get bigger. And whenever people always talk about
you're going to pay off debt with a devaluing currency? How?
And in the context, it's always a big number, but against the ability.
This is why Sharia don't do interest. They lend money, they don't do interest. They calculate things differently. They find a different way to get money back. I know, because they're doing business with these Muslims. It's really different.
To do extraordinary things, and that's what you're.
They think like natives on some level.
That's Jeff Castle from Pender Fund Capital, and at the Business Center, I'm Richard Southern.
At the monitoring center,
they understand. If I hand you $100 and then tell you to give me back, it doesn't matter how many.
Paying $20 to
$101. Okay, you hand me back $100.
For the very first time, or
where's the $101 come from? So it has to be created somehow, right? So you can't actually lend money. It doesn't work that way. This is why they don't do interest in Sharia Bank. I'm simplifying, but that's one of the things they don't do in Sharia Bank. You think they're all worried about what religion you are? Was it a pork business? No. There's some rules. And
what station has the best breaking news, traffic, and weather?
680 News, obviously.
Obviously.
Water came through, shorted out the furnace, the radiator too.
I don't think this is a particularly good news station. It's the news station. It's the only 24-hour live station in the city. 40 presets, I can fill them all.
Get money quick.
I did actually.
Our rates are way cheaper than a payday loan, and they help to improve your credit score. When you own your car or home, get a loan up to $50,000 fast.
Oh, that's bad.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart.
Count on Walmart for low prices every day. Walmart remains committed to doing their very best to keep stores and Walmart.ca stocked with the products you want at prices you can trust.
It is getting sunnier across the region, really starting to peak out in Orangeville, though. Still bitter cold, -9, and it's -8 over in Erin, -7 in Cambridge. In Milton, -7. Hamilton is -6 at this hour.
My fucking pale skin is fucking glaring the light at the camera lens. There are red dots all over there.
-9 in Bradford as well. But with the wind feeling more like -17, you'll find it -9 in Uxbridge rather.
B19 cross with COVID-19, Bates Block 19.
Right now, downtown, still cold, feeling like -10 with the wind. Mike Leach is our editor this morning. We have Joey Keeney at the digital desk. This is CFTR 680 News. It's 11 o'clock.
Alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I can clean this out. And use that to soak the paper so the alcohol will evaporate and the rest of the item. But if I had $2 to go get that, I would just find somebody with a note to sell me.
I'm Leah Johansson.
Good morning. I'm Zach
You can't do that,
Here's
but I
what you
can.
need to know right now.
Unless you do it with me, I'll do it.
Confirms 59 new cases of COVID-19, and the world's longest border is now off limits for tourism and recreation.
Ontario nurses calling on the provincial government to help strengthen travel-related guidelines in hospitals.
The coronavirus showing signs of slowing down in China as they report their third straight day without a new case. This comes as new data shows that most people will get better and only experience mild symptoms.
And Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expected to address the nation with the latest COVID-19 update coming up in about 15 minutes, and we'll bring you that live here on 680 News.
The World Hockey Championship has been canceled.
See how life happens? You do things you shouldn't do. You bring things into creation.
Good news for Bianca Andreescu.
You didn't care about the bats dying.
Coming up in business,
You didn't care about the bats dying. And you ate a bat. That virus had mutated. That virus doesn't have a brain to think, but if it did, they had no idea what a human body was. What's this? Oh, wow. We can reproduce like crazy in here. How do bats live all close together in places that tend to be humid and not have the best ventilation?
The tire was rolling around. It was in the left lane. Let's hope it rolled
over onto the shoulder. In the meantime, we called MTO. They're on their way to check that out now. As I look at the cameras on the westbound 401 approaching Avenue Road.
Business as usual. They're filling potholes out here. You think I'm joking?
So it's possible maybe it did go onto the shoulder. If you see it, let us know. Our free traffic tip line starts 680. The rest of the highways around the Toronto area all in great shape. At Tyndale University, professors help you discover your opportunities from graduate studies to career path. There's still time. Apply now at tyndale.ca. Your next traffic report at 11:11. Right now, let's get the forecast. Carl Lam.
So much sunshine to start our Saturday and kick off the first full weekend of spring. It's going to be a really nice day. It is cold out there to start, but we head up to +1, which is below seasonal for this time of year. But at least it's not as windy, and there's no severe storms to talk about.
But it's stainless steel,
so it's going to be a clear evening tonight as well, dropping down to -7. Similar conditions tomorrow, mostly sunny and +1. Right now, it is -7 out at Pearson, -5 at 680 News. Today's guaranteed high +1.
680 News time, 11:02.
The Canada-U.S. border
we gotta get to the van.
Closed to all non-essential travel. This, as the number of COVID-19 cases in our country and here in the province continues to grow.
680's Asher Roth now joining us live with an in-depth look at what the newest measure taken by the government and what the number of cases is now in the province now that it's updated. Asher.
Yes, Zach, another jump in Ontario's numbers with the health ministry confirming 59 new cases. 2 of them confirmed to be here in Toronto, a woman in her 50s and a man in his 60s, both of whom recently traveled to Europe. Neither of them are connected as far as we know. York Region also confirmed 5 new cases, including a woman in her 70s at the Mark Haven Home for Seniors. It's the 3rd Ontario seniors home that has been impacted by the coronavirus. There are also 4 more cases in Peel, 1 in Durham.
Seniors in like
30 of the cases
animals.
have limited information available in terms of where they live
or
where they contracted the virus. Now, with those new numbers comes a big change at a number of hospitals in the city. The University Health Network, which runs Princess Margaret, Toronto General, Toronto Western, Toronto Rehab, and the Missioner Institute, has announced it is barring visitors starting today. UHN saying exceptions will be made on compassionate grounds and for special safety needs. Now, if you need to cross the border into the United States, it's now got to be work-related for at least the next 30 days.
What we are all united in attempting to do is to discourage that travel, which is clearly not essential. The people that are engaged in tourist activities or recreational activities.
Public Safety Minister Bill Blair insisting the border closure won't affect trade between Canada and the U.S. and it won't stop the flow of essential goods. But as part of the arrangement between the two countries, asylum seekers will now be turned away at the border. The Canadian Council of Refugees is pushing back against the move, saying it's important to protect the rights of refugees and vulnerable migrants, even in the middle of a pandemic. Now, Prime Minister Trudeau is expected
go back to where you came
10 minutes from now. We will carry that announcement live for you right here on 680 News.
There's only like 30 million of you. You can fit on a couple boats. Once the border opens again.
Air Canada flight.
This is enough. 512 here done. This is, look at this disease. And once this clears up and the border opens, y'all gotta go. You gotta go.
Departing from Casablanca is in collaboration with the federal government. Thousands of Canadians aboard continue to struggle to find a way abroad, continue to struggle to find a way back.
Thank you.
As some are stranded as borders are closing and airlines are cutting off flights due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Go above and beyond standard health and safety measures. That's the message Canada's Labor Minister is sending
Canada,
to
and the United States
the country
are sealed off from each other, really?
The COVID-19 pandemic. Minister Philomena Tassi has released a statement saying companies have an obligation to keep their workers safe. And while COVID-19 is still a new phenomenon, she urges employers to identify risks on the job and ensure employers are not exposed to conditions that could be harmful to their health. For those self-isolating or out of work because of closures due to this pandemic, Minister Tassi notes the government has announced an $82 billion financial aid package to help workers struggling through this unprecedented time.
Two of them, it's 38. I know because it's a 38 place. That's how I size clothes.
You could be fine
hand up the leg,
choose not to. Provincial police say people could face fines of up to $1,000 and corporations up to $500,000 if they don't adhere to social distancing rules. The OPP says although the voluntary compliance is always preferred, under Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act, there are consequences for people in businesses that choose to defy the act. Earlier this week, all gatherings of 50 people or more were banned, and a range of businesses and organizations were forced to close their doors.
Here with 680 News at 11:06.
Who you doing business with?
Nurses Association sounding alarm bells about the safety of healthcare workers treating COVID-19 patients.
I know y'all not drug dealers in the streets. So what the fuck are you doing business with?
Association has stopped short
You don't sell coffee, cigarettes, or heroin. Who the fuck are you doing business with?
Hospitals, though they are concerned about the types of masks that are being worn by those dealing with COVID-19 patients. They'd rather see them using more fitted N95 masks. Now, back in 2003,
they're wearing drywall dust masks. I see people wearing drywall dust masks.
Nurses from the GTA died. Janelle Amasa.
Which, if you cough, it will stop droplets, I guess, but they clog up so fast.
Solicitor General Sylvia Jones announcing Friday the use of temporary absences will be expanded for low-risk inmates nearing the end of their sentence. She says the Ontario Parole Board will also be permitted to conduct hearings.
Why? They're going to come back to the jail with the goddamn disease. Either let them out or don't. Don't let them go back and forth. There's a place called the Toronto Intermittent Center at Toronto South Detention. It's for serving weekends.
Efforts to contain the virus have fallen well short of where we should be. In an email obtained by the Toronto Star, Dr.
Stay in pick one.
Urging
I would stay in and get an extra 5 days for every week because you're not working. You're not working. No, you're not.
That time is not on our side. Yesterday, dozens of Ontario physicians co-signed a petition calling on all levels of government to bring in warlike effects to ramp up production of medical equipment that hospitals desperately need. So far, it's gathered some 60,000 signatures. Many healthcare workers have raised questions about what they call mixed messaging from the province, leading to widespread confusion about what company spread is and why social distancing is so important.
And here at home, again, we are social distancing and self-isolating to try and flatten the curve of the coronavirus. Internationally, countries also fighting the virus in their own ways. And Italy in particular,
they can't feed off me, but I can transport them around. That's why I kill them all, man.
Joins us with a worldwide
look at the virus.
Good news from China. They've had their third day in a row without a new case of COVID infection. And a new
not testing nobody. They ain't got no tests. They don't need tests. Everybody's sick. Everybody's on the same fucking
the epicenter of the pandemic, 627 people died in 24 hours, further passing China's total number of deaths as the country calls on its military to help enforce quarantine measures. Australia had to close down Bondi Beach after hundreds of people ignored warnings in favor of a day in the sun and sand. Australian official David Elliott says this is
good. There's too many fucking Australians.
This morning here in Bondi Beach was the most irresponsible behaviour of individuals that we've seen so far. If people do not comply, well then the police will have the powers to move on individuals.
Germany are you going to arrest them all? You're going to put them all in one place? What are you going to do when that place is full? You're going to sit there and guard them inside the same place with them, breathing the same recycled air? You sure about that, Frederick? You're going to enforce what? You're going to enforce what, pig face?
Go fuck yourself, everything you need for your renos for less.
My dream home has a Tuscan front door, cream bamboo floors the second you step inside, and a dog who meticulously wipes down his paws after all his walks and romps.
Well, just about everything. Until Wednesday at Lowe's.
All his walks and drops. What is that? I don't understand that word drop. What are you talking about?
$500 or more on patio furniture, gazebos, and sheds. Conditions apply. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro says the price of gas will drop by 4 cents at midnight to 73.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Up next, traffic and weather together on the ones.
680 News time 11:10.
11:10.
For 50, it's time to take the at-home colon cancer test. Why? Because colon cancer is 90% curable when found earlier. Plus, testing is really easy. Just collect your sample and mail it in. We promise it's easier than you think.
They've already come on and said, if you get chemotherapy, you die 9 years quicker on average.
For more information.
Yeah, the chemo guarantees you that.
Are you looking for
experimental shit from World War II? You think I'm joking? Go look it up. It's not medical in any way.
Learn from home with the Ontario Virtual School. The Ontario Virtual School allows you
listen to the logic. We're going to give you radiation to get rid of radiation
so you can
sickness.
Get your high school diploma.
We're going to give you chemotherapy to deal with the fact you've been sucking back chemicals your whole life.
24-hour access to our certified teachers. Some courses can be completed in as little as 4 weeks. Learn more at OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
And it's very similar to boxing. They let the guy hit you till you're unconscious. If you can get up again, they let him hit you again till you're unconscious. If your body can take the chemo, they give you more.
This report brought to you by Hakeem Optical. At last check on the westbound 401 approaching Avenue Road in the Express. We had a tire within the left lane, but MTO is checking that out. But so far, what I can see on the cameras is that there's no delay on the westbound 401 approaching Avenue Road.
I'm not giving you medical advice. You can look these things up
possible that
on real mainstream websites.
We'll give MTO a phone call just to find out an update. Other than that, in the meantime, the drive is great on all the major highways, the 400 series highways. We don't see any delays or no new troubles. The drive is building with volume, but you're still traveling at the limit. Same story for the Gardner and the John Valley Parkway. Everything is moving quite well. Embrace your unique style at Hakeem Optical. Purchase your first pair at regular price and get your second pair of lenses and frames for only $20 each. Visit HakeemOptical.ca. Your next traffic report at 11:21 right now. Let's get the forecast. Here's Carl Lamb.
And temperatures increasing on the temperature board right now. -5 is where we are.
Did we go from 17 to -10 again in about 24 hours? What the
That's
fuck?
our guaranteed high. Mainly sunny conditions,
will kill off
northwest
germs
winds,
and things.
and it really should be
Molds
an
and things,
enjoyable
like temperature,
day.
humidity
All that
change will
sunshine
fuck
sure
with
does
the
make it feel quite good.
survival
After the week we've
a
had,
lot
it feels like a year. It's nice to see the sun out again, even if it's on the colder side. Down to -7.
That's like sterilized grow rooms with perfect climate control. The plants always die and get moldy.
The only catch is that tomorrow we have more clouds rolling in. Tomorrow evening, winds start to pick up from the southeast, and that means our next system is on the way. But for now, it's a great weekend across the GTA. -5 is the temperature at Pearson, -5 at 680 News. Today's guaranteed high +1.
And with a look at some other stories we've been following in the news today, we'll take you live to 680's Mitch Burke. Mitch.
Well, Leah, let's begin at Queen's Park. The Ford government and Ontario's public elementary teachers have struck a tentative deal, and it appears that Queen's Park indeed budged when it came to wages. Here is Education Minister Stephen Lecce just moments ago.
This is a good outcome. Grateful to all the partners for negotiating good. The government has advanced in this negotiation a program that keeps class sizes low, that ensures special education funding flows at increased levels for those with the greatest needs, and of course protecting full-day kindergarten and a fair 1% enhancement.
ETFO members will begin the ratification
junior
process
kindergarten,
next week.
senior kindergarten like you used to have?
2 unions yet to reach
That
a deal.
took it away, you brought it back, took it away
the
again.
next couple of days. And sad news from the entertainment world. 3-time Grammy winner and Country Music Hall of Famer Kenny Rogers has died at the age of 81. A statement from Kenny Rogers' family says he died peacefully at his Georgia home late Friday night of natural causes under hospice care. Rogers was a crossover country and pop sensation, known for his hits like Lady, Islands in the Stream, and The Gambler. A public memorial will be held at a later date. Reporting live, Mitch Burke, 680 News.
680 News, Tom 1114. Hi, I am Tom Rokiki of Inline Fiberglass Windows.
My influences teach you how to make money. Your influences teach me how to lose money.
Performance and durability. But did you know that our fiberglass windows were carefully
selected? Oh, you want me to pay money to come watch this propaganda? All right, because if I pay you for it, I forget that you produced it. If you give it to me, I go, oh, this can't be real. If he wants money for it, it must be real, right?
Self-isolation. We'll listen to that live now.
Whether you're hospital staff or a first responder, a bus driver, excuse me. Whether you're hospital staff or a first responder, a bus driver, truck driver, or freight train operator, I know you're working harder than ever right now.
I'm a local
You're making a
operator.
real difference for people who need you. I want you to know that we see that, and we're standing behind you. Whatever our government can do to support you, to keep you safe, to protect our economy.
Dude, email out $20 to everybody you got an email address for.
And that includes from northern communities.
That's it.
We're working with partners to reduce travel to northern communities to help protect them from the virus. Today, the Northwest
You know how they
Territories
fucking
will
got
issue
to World
an
War
order to
II?
limit
1
non-essential
second at a
travel
fucking
into the
time, eh?
territory. We support this important step. At the same
But
time,
this pussy all
we're
don't know
focused on
nothing about
ensuring
that.
essential goods get to people in these communities. We will continue to work with partners and stakeholders on travel to the
I think
north.
when his mom cheated on his
This past
dad,
week,
he fucked
we
his head
also
up.
announced new measures to
Now
put
he
more
don't
money
like
in
guys
people's
that are like
pockets
Mick Jagger.
to get through this
He's got
uncertain
like
time.
this weird love-hate cuckold thing
This
going
means
on.
everything from boosting the Canada Child Benefit to increasing the GST credit.
That's
to giving
great
people
for a month from now,
from paying
bro.
back
Can you
their
do something
student
today?
loans. We've unveiled a plan to
Doug
mobilize
Ford was
industry
handing
to
out
produce
$60
things like
every time the
masks
schools
and
went on strike.
ventilators.
Can't you do that?
And to accelerate vital research, $25 million will go to teams across the country working on measures to detect, manage, and reduce the spread of COVID-19. For Canadians who are overseas, we're sending them texts with important information. We've announced new funding to help people borrow up to $5,000 to return to Canada or to cover their needs while waiting to come home.
Stay where you are,
And public
stupid.
servants
It's well
are working
past
around
coming
the
home.
clock to help people who are
Stupid.
stranded. On that last front, we've continued to make progress in the last few
You
days.
shouldn't have left if you wanted to come back
Aujourd'hui,
when the shit hits.
j'annonce que notre gouvernement travaille avec les compagnies aériennes canadiennes pour rendre les vols commerciaux plus accessibles aux Canadiens coincés à l'étranger. Nous travaillerons aussi avec d'autres pays pour nous assurer que nos transporteurs aériens ont...
Again, this is Prime Minister Justin Trudeau speaking.
We speak French, you whore!
Cottage, just about the latest COVID-19 efforts across the country. We'll listen back in.
On travaille aussi avec d'autres compagnies aériennes pour conclure des ententes similaires. On planifie d'autres vols au cours des prochains jours, potentiellement du Pérou et de l'Espagne, avec d'autres pays qui seront annoncés le plus tôt possible. Plusieurs facteurs sont pris en compte lorsqu'on décide d'où partiront les vols. Par exemple, le nombre de Canadiens dans certains endroits, les fermetures de l'espace aérien ou la situation locale. On ne pourra pas joindre tout le monde, mais on fera tout ce qu'on peut pour aider le plus de gens possible. Pour que le gouvernement puisse contacter les gens qui ont besoin d'aide le plus rapidement possible, tous ceux qui sont à l'étranger
J'ai besoin de l'aide, monsieur.
auprès d'Affaires
J'ai
mondiales
besoin de
Canada,
10, 20 dollars,
si ce n'est pas déjà
15 dollars,
Vous
15
pourriez
dollars.
faire en ligne
Oui,
à voyage.
je peux t'en répéter.
Les mêmes politiques de santé publique qui s'appliquent aux personnes qui...
Again, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just giving his latest update just outside of Rideau Cottage on the latest COVID-19 efforts across the country. And stay with 680 News as we continue to bring you the latest developments on this. 680 News Time, 11:19.
Hi, I'm Tom Rokiki of Inline Fiberglass Windows. You're probably already aware of the benefits in selecting our fiberglass windows. Beauty, performance, and durability.
Yeah, you get to come fix
But did
them
you
every
know
5
that our
years,
fiberglass
bro? I
windows
get
were
it.
carefully selected by building professionals for the Greenpeace National Headquarters, Canada's greenest home,
this
and
is gross.
CMHC's Healthy House? It's no
I know it's my
coincidence
hair,
that
but
vinyl,
it's
wood,
small.
or aluminum windows
It's not blonde.
were
I
not
keep finding
selected for these
blonde fucking
projects.
long
Visit us
blonde
at
hairs
our
in here.
factory direct showroom or at
Shaved my head for 10 years straight. Still
And we'll
find
go back
fucking
to Prime
blonde
Minister
hairs in
Justin
there.
Trudeau just outside of Rideau Cottage, giving us an update on the COVID-19 preparations in Canada.
Other locations in the coming days. This potentially includes Peru and Spain. Other countries will be announced as soon as possible. As we make these decisions, factors like the number of Canadians there, airspace closures, and the local situation are being taken into account. Now, we won't be able to reach everyone, but we're going to do our best to help those we can. To make sure we can get
That's the
information to
Canadian
people
thing
as
too.
quickly as
We might not be able to
possible,
save your
all
ass. We'll
Canadians
try.
overseas should
You
register
ready to
with
die?
Global
Oh, I'm
Affairs
Canadian,
Canada
of course.
if they've not already done so. You can do this by going
I'm a
online
Leafs
to
fan. Don't worry.
travel.gc.ca.
Oh, yeah. You could try hitting that up right now. I guarantee it's going to crash with the amount of
Who's
traffic.
coming into the country. Everyone on these flights has to isolate for 14 days once they're back.
I also want to remind everyone that if you're showing
if you weren't sick,
COVID-19,
you're gonna get exposed when you get on the plane. They're using the same planes over and over, and they only just started cleaning them, and they're not showing us proof that they're cleaning them. There's no live video saying, "Hey, I work here and I'm spraying bleach everywhere," just to show you. Where's the video of that?
Reunited. I'd especially want to thank the staff, from pilots to air crews, for their professionalism and dedication. During a very difficult time for the industry, when people are worried about their jobs and futures, they're still stepping up.
Do it like Sunwing, run it into the ground.
This has been a tough week.
Let them collect dust.
People are concerned about their health.
Let them collect some dust and some rust.
And today, on the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, let's not forget that people are worried about how fear can fuel racism, too. So let's be kind to each other.
So if you don't know, mixed blood Micmac like me are so predominant because anybody that looked Micmac got killed off. Anybody that was more pure of the older bloodline was susceptible to disease.
And stigma.
So they try to say we're not really Micmac because we're mixed, blah, blah, blah. We're the descendants. How are we not that? And the only reason we look different is because you dirty motherfuckers spreading disease to us on purpose. So hey, enjoy that smallpox. Because I'm immune, motherfucker.
College this hour, saying that he's working to get Canadians stranded abroad back home here to Canada.
And malaria.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones with a look at your drive.
I'm immune all that shit thanks to you
This report
idiots.
brought to you by Seneca. Good news on the westbound 401 approaching Avenue Road in the express with a tire rolling around. That has been cleared.
Is this still no, it's not still
The rest of the
rolling.
highway's all in great shape. Seneca students can take anything on, an uncertain future, a changing economy, and
$15.23.
Join the Seneca Proud Challenge accepted. Your next traffic report at 11:31. Right now, let's get the forecast. Carl Lamb.
Thanks, Colette. +1 today. Lots of sunshine. A beautiful day out there. Down to -7. Clear tonight. Tomorrow, +1. Very similar to what we had today. High pressure still in control of our weather pattern. And then tomorrow night, -1 with more cloud and stronger winds. And then we also see some snow showers. Those continue into Monday. Then it's a rain-snow mix for a lot of us on Monday throughout the entire day. So some accumulation is possible. Nothing substantial, though. And it looks like we'll get more rain accumulation than anything. A high of 4 degrees and then 6 on Tuesday with a mix of sun and cloud. Right now, -5 at Pearson, -4 at 680 News. Today's guaranteed high,
What did you
+1.
just take a picture of?
The future of SUVs has arrived. The all-new 2020 Ford Escape with available head-up display technology and best-in-class second-row legroom. It's built for the future. Trust me, I know. I'm a robot. Ha, ha, ha.
You heard her. Lease the 2020 Ford Escape SE all-wheel drive for 40 months at 3.49% APR with $3,000 down. That's only $187 every 2 weeks.
$187?
Ford.ca.
The Jaguar Impeccable Timing Sales event is on now, which means it's the perfect time to enjoy exceptional offers on most Jaguar vehicles, including the award-winning F-Pace Performance SUV, the Agile E-Pace Compact SUV, and the powerful F-Type sports car. On any Jaguar vehicle of your choice, receive your first 3 lease payments on us, or take advantage of savings up to $9,000.
Look at them doing this now and not like, emergency trying to do it quick.
For details, timing is everything. Offers end March 31st.
Imagine a home renovation without all the stress, cost, and uncertainty. That's why Georgian
Don't do the
Renovations
renovation
created Smart
because you're destroying the value of your house. Your renovations suck. You know who all the renovation companies are? Crackheads and drunks that managed to get a loan and got a truck and stole a bunch of tools. That's why they ain't got no licenses.
It's never been easier to fall in love with your home again. Get your free, no-obligation instant estimate today at GeorgianReno.com.
They're like roofers that decided, hey, we could do the top. Why don't we do the bottom too?
Being accountable to you, the listener, which is why we're a member of the Canadian Broadcast Standards
I make
Council.
$300
As
a
member,
day. Okay,
we're
why are you
committed
bumming
to
cigarettes off
upholding
me?
the highest standards of broadcasting and adhering to specific codes of conduct. If you have a comment on what you've heard, contact us or visit the CBSC's website, cbsc.ca. We'll respond to your concerns and send you information on the council and its codes.
CBSA.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something bigger.
To show my kids what's important.
I joined to make my community stronger.
To make a difference in someone's life.
To acknowledge that our
Somebody's
freedom
blood on this coin.
I joined to honor my mom.
My grandpa.
My neighbor.
Everyone who served.
Who are serving still.
Honoring veterans is our duty. Join today at legion.ca/join.
And we'll go back to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau addressing the nation.
Social distancing to a maximum. We have not removed from the table any options. We're looking at a broad array of measures that we can move forward with. At this time, we do not see the Federal Emergencies Act as an essential tool today, but we are continuing to look at the situation. We'll make decisions.
Fucking behave so they don't have to use it. I swear I'm gonna fucking be so angry at you motherfuckers if you fuck this up, man.
I think the key issue is, are there things that we need to be able to do as a government that we cannot do with the very strong existing regulations that are in place and that our government has as tools? Okay. Évidemment, je veux remercier d'abord les millions de Canadiens qui suivent les instructions de nos experts en santé.
You've been listening to Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister.
Shut up, you whore!
Getting Canadians home from abroad. We'll go now to the 680 News Business Report.
I'm Chris McCusker. For some, this past week felt like a month. At times, it was hard to keep up
That
with
right
the
there is
developments
racial
around
discrimination,
coronavirus,
right?
along with the volatility on
we don't have to
financial
do nothing for
markets. Now,
francophones.
to a degree, we're living in unprecedented
speaks French.
times, although some
Indians and
comparisons can be
niggers.
drawn
Thank you.
with the financial crisis. Benjamin Reitzes is Canadian rates and macro strategist at BMO Capital Markets.
It's definitely more intense than the financial crisis. Crisis at the time kind of unfolded over a much longer period of time. This just kind of seems like that similar type of event, but in fast forward, effectively. I mean, things are moving extraordinarily quickly. The pace at which central banks are cutting rates down to the really crisis levels, doing quantitative easing, all those types of measures, liquidity measures, the speed at which the market's moving, and the
but lending
volatility in
people
equity
money
markets
to buy
and bond markets.
houses is just
I think
guaranteed
that's the differentiator
power
factor, I think, at this
forever.
point, versus 2000.
Right?
Really just speed.
And you mentioned central banks, so it is worth noting the Bank of Canada isn't out of options yet.
The conversation was
Not
about
yet.
central banks.
At crisis lows, and we're not doing quantitative easing yet, at least not officially. And so at this point, there is still more. They'll keep doing more, but the onus is quite frankly more on fiscal authorities at this point.
And we also got decent retail sales data in Canada to end the week, but it really doesn't mean much.
And not really. It's anything pre-virus at this point is largely going to be ignored from the market. It doesn't really impact current fundamentals all that much. I think the only takeaway is that while the headline was a little bit stronger, the volume, so the actual amount of stuff being sold, price adjusted, was slightly lower in the month. That's been a theme for some time.
Benjamin Reitzes is Canadian rates and macro strategist at BMO Capital Markets. And at the
Macro
Business Center,
strategist.
I'm Chris McCusker.
Okay, Kara, what has
He's a
four
big
wheels and
thinker,
flags?
eh?
Dad.
A garbage truck. Okay, one more. Why did the cop pull over the moving van?
Dad, stop.
To bust a move?
Make dad jokes, but don't drive a dad van.
Who's doing?
Get the new 2020 Ford Explorer with standard Ford Copilot 360 and style to spare. Right now, you can get 0% purchase financing on all 2020 Explorer models. And that's no joke. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
Hey guys, it's never a good look when you untuck a long, bulky dress shirt. It just looks
That's why I put on
That's
my
why
jail
Untuck It makes
jumpsuit,
shirts
buddy.
specifically
Trying to
designed
look
to be
good.
worn untucked.
Presentable.
And not only do they look good, they feel great too. Untuck It offers 50 fit combinations, so tall, short, slim, and bigger guys can experience the perfect fitting shirt. While our stores are temporarily closed, please go to untuckit.ca where you can browse and purchase from our extensive new spring line. Use promo code Canada for 20% off your entire first purchase. Untuckit.ca. Promo code Canada.
Number one for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good morning. It's Saturday, March 21st. I'm Zach Bodenstein.
And good morning, I'm Leah Johansson. Here's what's making news this hour.
Prime Minister Trudeau is working with airlines to get Canadians home safe as Ontario confirms nearly 6 new cases of COVID-19.
China is seemingly starting to get a handle on their coronavirus outbreak, revealing data that shows the majority of people will only experience mild symptoms and will recover. This as the country goes 3 days straight without a new case.
With the extended March break, the Ministry of Education unveiling the temporary e-learning program yesterday called Learn from Home.
The PGA Tour commissioner is giving up his salary for the time being. The Men's World Hockey Championship has been canceled, and Sportsnet is getting set to replay a Matt Sundin memorable moment. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, mortgage rates in Canada continue to change as the coronavirus situation develops. We'll hear from an expert on how the virus can actually help you make your rate decision.
680 News Time, 11:31.
Traffic and weather together with a check of your roads now. Call up Desjardins.
And this report brought to you by Rona. Well, everything is moving very nicely. It's lighter than normal on this Saturday morning. We did have a problem on the westbound 401 approaching Avenue Road in the Express, but it was debris, but MTO has picked that up. For the rest of the highways, still in great shape. As I mentioned, the drive is a good one this morning. So if you're heading out, you'll get to your destination with no delay. So that's good news. Just keep in mind, if you're on Shepherd, between Oakdale to east of the 400, it's down to a single lane for construction. Have a look. It wasn't too much of a delay through that stretch. At Rona and Lowe's, it's the Installation Services Spring Blitz. Until April 8th, you can get 10% cash back off your total purchase and gift cards. More details at Rona or Lowe's.ca. Conditions apply. Your next traffic report is coming up at 11:41. Right now, let's get the forecast. Carl Lamb.
A beautiful day out there. Lots of sunshine, slowly getting to our high of +1 today, and winds not nearly as strong as they were yesterday. And then as we head into the temperatures drop down to -7, lighter wind will make it feel like -10 when you go outside this evening. So that wind chill will be a bit noticeable as we head into the evening. Right now, -5 at Pearson, -4 in downtown Toronto. Today's guaranteed high +1.
680 News Time, 11:32.
59 new cases of COVID-19 reported in the province. The total now 377 in Ontario. The Canada-U.S. border is now also officially closed to non-essential travel as both countries try to reduce the spread of the virus.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just addressing the nation with a quick briefing. 680's Asher Roth joining us live now with the latest on that. Asher.
Yeah, that's right, Leah. Several Canadians struggle to get home from abroad. The Prime Minister says the government is taking action.
So we're working with Canadian Airlines to make commercial flights available for as many Canadians who are stranded as possible. We will also be working with other countries to ensure that our airlines have the permissions and other supports necessary to fly.
And he adds, if you are abroad, you do need to register with Global Affairs Canada. And if you are sick, you're not getting on the plane. And then when you return home, you've still got to self-isolate for 14 days. Trudeau also saying testing is being ramped up across the country.
Canada. We will leave your ass behind to save the rest of the pack.
With airlines, however, Canadians abroad will still have to pay the ticket price. He also took some time to thank Canadians who've chosen to self-isolate. Now, meantime, it will be at least 30 days before you'll be able to cross the border into the United States. That's because non-essential travel has been banned. It doesn't include trade. Goods will continue to cross the border, and other exceptions include health professionals or anyone that works on one side of the border and lives on the other. Now, this all comes as Ontario.
Fuck you! You're not going to work.
9 new cases today.
What the fuck is wrong with these? No, we're going to seal everything off except for that guy.
And York Region also confirming
the virus is in there going on. I know where I'm going.
Including a woman in her 70s at a senior's home. There are also 4 more cases in Peel and 1 other one in Durham. We also heard this morning the University Health Network, which runs Princess Margaret, Toronto General, Toronto Western, Toronto Rehab, and the Michener Institute, is barring visitors starting today. Exceptions can be made on compassionate grounds and for special safety needs. Now, the Prime Minister still speaking outside his home in the nation's capital. We'll continue to bring you the details of what he is saying. And Premier Ford is expected to make an announcement at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Reporting live, Asher Roth, 680 News. 680 News Time, 11:35, and the federal labor minister calling on all employees who are still operating during the COVID-19 pandemic to go above and beyond standard health and safety measures to make sure their workers are safe. In a statement released this morning, the minister says she understands the coronavirus is a new phenomenon, but under the law, employers have an obligation to identify risks and ensure employees are not exposed to conditions that could be harmful to health. Many stores across the country have closed their doors due to provincial states of emergency or on the advice of officials. For workers who have to stay home to self-isolate, take care of loved ones, or who are just out of work, the minister notes that government is going to be providing supports as a part of the $82 billion financial aid package that was announced earlier this week.
With millions of textbooks firmly shut amid this extended March break, the province is hoping students will keep up with their literacy and math skills online. The Ministry of Education unveiling their temporary e-learning program, calling it Learn from Home. It includes a website for high school students containing essential courses like math, physics, and science. For younger learners, the government is leaning on TVO to broadcast more educational programs instead of cartoons. And though these optional measures won't go towards final grades, the education minister says the province is figuring out ways to bring back teachers into the mix. A spokesperson for the Toronto District School Board tells the CBC the board is actively exploring options when it comes to technology at hand and whether or not every student would be able to use it from home.
And in the U.S., a member of Vice President Mike Pence's staff has tested positive for COVID-19. Pence's office was notified yesterday evening of the positive test result. The person is apparently the first on the president or vice president's staff to test positive. An official for Pence says the staff member did not have close contact with either Pence or President Trump.
And everyone around the globe is doing their part to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Some countries are hit harder than others. 680's Joey Keeney joins us with the latest developments from overseas.
China had their third consecutive day without a new COVID-19 infection. Here's Dr. Mike Ryan from the World Health Organization.
There's a message of hope there from China. And that's a message of hope to many countries around the world who have very low numbers of cases right now and who can turn this virus back.
And after 627 deaths on Friday, Italy is now much further past China's death toll. This comes as Italy called in their military to help enforce the quarantine. ABC's Megan Williams is in Italy, and she says the people there are resilient.
You know, you find ways of coping like that by connecting with friends online, and there's still the balcony singing every night.
Spain reported 324 more deaths, pushing their total to over 1,300. Australia closed their popular Bondi Beach after crowds ignored warnings and flocked to the sands. An official with Australian police saying this is disappointing and that the Health Act must be complied with. I'm Joey Keeney.
This is 680 News. Concern is growing about a big dip in blood donations as a result of the COVID-19 outbreak. The Vice President of Medical Affairs for Canadian Blood Services tells the CBC that they've seen a drop-off in people keeping donation appointments over the last week, and worries about the coronavirus have risen. He assures those who are considering giving blood that the organization has enhanced cleaning procedures. Waiting room chairs have also been moved further apart in the name of social distancing. Though the service is urging healthy Canadians to roll up their sleeves for a good cause, those who are sick or are in quarantine should just stay home.
The TTC announcing they'll be waiving all cancellation fees for Presto users with 12-month passes. That's due to COVID-19. And more people are practicing social distancing and working from home, which means they're using transit less. The public transportation company says people who cancel their plan may still get a notification that they owe cancellation fees, but they should be ignored. A heads up, though, the last day to cancel your plan and avoid these fees is by tomorrow, March 22nd.
Coming up on 680 News, we'll get a check of the price of gas.
680 News Time, 11:39.
Shoppers Drug Mart is now extending its 20% seniors discount to the first opening hour of each day. This is in addition to its regular offer every Thursday in an effort to help senior customers. The hour will vary by store. Please see store for all the details.
And now the 680 News gas price update. Empro says the price of gas will fall another 4 cents at midnight to just under 74 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Your traffic and weather is next.
680 News Time, 11:40.
Hi, I'm Erin Davis. Canadians are living longer and more active lives than ever. That can mean needing more retirement income than expected.
As a Canadian homeowner, you have the option to stay in the home you love and fund the retirement you deserve. The CHIP Reverse Mortgage from Home Equity Bank can get you up to 55% of your home's value in tax-free cash without affecting your pension. And there are no monthly mortgage payments required. Find out how much money you can get. Visit chipradio.ca.
My name is Kate, and my son goes to Tyndale University. I suggested Tyndale because I want a university that will build on the foundation we built as a family. A university that will shape my child, where he can grow and learn academically and in his faith to better prepare him for success. Where professors don't just teach, but mentor my child to become the person they're meant to be.
Find out more. Go to Tyndale.ca. That's Tyndale with a Y.ca.
680 News Time, 11:41.
Traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center. Here's Colette Desjardins.
And this report brought to you by Pearl Vision. Right now on the northbound 427, getting reports at Dundas and the Collectors, a stalled vehicle blocking the right lane. Hopefully a tow truck or police are on the scene. You can always update us. Our free traffic tip line, star 680. Otherwise, the rest of the major highways still in great shape. Of course, building with volume, but still traveling at the limit. Keep in mind, if you're driving on Shepherd, both ways on Shepherd between Oakdale to east of the 400, still down to a single lane that it will be until July 31st. That's all for construction. Pearl Vision can help you see clearly and look great with brands you love. Plus, they'll direct bill most insurance plans. Arrange your eye exam at pearlvision.com. Your next traffic report coming up at 11:51. Right now, let's get the forecast. Here's Carl Lamb.
Thank you, Colette. And temperatures today are headed up to +1. Lots of sunshine as we look outside our studios. It is a beautiful day outside, and temperatures will be similar for tomorrow with similar conditions to what we're experiencing right now. And then as we look ahead to tomorrow evening, that's when the clouds increase, and we could see a few snow flurries tomorrow evening, dropping down to -1. That sets up for a bit of a snowy start to our Monday. Right now, -5, mainly sunny at Pearson, feeling like -10. Today's guaranteed high, +1.
680 News Time, 11:42.
Some retailers are taking more precautions when accepting cash during the pandemic. Margaret Harris of the World Health Organization, though, says that there's no evidence that cash is transmitting the novel coronavirus.
Cash is known to carry a lot of bacteria and viruses. You should always wash your hands after handling cash and before.
No, wash the money, you ignorant. I washed my hands, but I didn't get the money.
Meantime, the Bank of Canada has asked retailers to continue accepting cash to ensure people have
It's not up to them. We can accept cash, or we're just going to take what we want. You want our money? Okay.
Meantime, it's a big win for the city of Pickering and fans of French.
Try saying I don't want to take your money in this country.
A development application for an 8-story condo building is now over. The local planning appeals tribunal has dismissed it. The tribunal
you're going to come near me when I go to fucking take it and leave? You're going to follow me? I'm going to
1280 to 1294 Wharf Street and 607 England Street did not conform to the city's official plan and just wasn't appropriate for the waterfront. Coming up next on 680 News, a recap of your top stories, and we'll get an update in sports.
Are we done with Sidewalk Labs?
Thanks so much for coming to babysit. My pleasure. So here's the fridge. Eat whatever you want. Okay. And this is Nathan's room. Oh, it's so cute.
Okay, we're putting the bubble. We're not adjusting this ever again.
Is Nathan sleeping? No, it's his father's. So then how am I here to babysit? Thank you for dropping by, Chelsea.
It's okay to be proud of your rent. This weekend at Rona, we pay the tax for you when you spend $100 or more, so you can spring into action. Do yourself proud with Rona. Conditions apply.
Plus, your alarm monitor fees down to $9.99 per month. How? The Monitor Center delivers high-quality, affordable alarm monitoring at the wholesale price of only $9.99. We urge you to call now and take advantage of our 6 months free giveaway. That's 18 months for the price of 12.
I understand how it can slide all the way down, but it gets stuck trying to slide it up. Motherfucker.
This is All News Radio.
680 News.
High score feeling like
This Velcro on this thing here is what should be on the jumpsuit.
News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Zach Bodenstein.
And good morning, I'm Leah Johansson. Here's what's making news this hour.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just addressing the nation with an update on the government's plan to stop.
Yeah, I was listening to that, but your fucking whore kept talking
new
over it.
cases were reported in the province, bringing Ontario's total to 377.
Well, your horse stuff like a whore. Shut up. I didn't tell you to call me by my Christian name, bitch.
That border was officially shut down just before midnight.
$15 bill to butcher.
Vice President Mike Pence's staff has tested positive for the coronavirus. Pence's office was notified yesterday evening of the positive test result. The person is apparently the first person on the president or vice president's staff to test positive. An official for Pence says the staff member did not have any close contact with either Pence or President Donald Trump. And still to come, our Mitch Burke will join us live, breaking down a number of other stories that we're looking at this morning. 680 News Time, 11:45. Time now for 680 Sports, and now from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, let's check in with Maria St-Aubin.
The bad, but expected news for hockey fans came earlier this morning when the IIHF announced that the Men's World Hockey Championship has been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The event was set to begin May 8th in Switzerland. The women's tournament was canceled back on March 7th. Now, for some good news, you can catch some hockey action tonight. Sportsnet is throwing it back to October 14th, 2006.
Game did lose it. And Sundin is up there. 2 goals on the night. And Sundin wins the game with 500 in his terrific career.
That was Leafs captain Matt Sundin's 500th career goal to lead Toronto to a 5-4 OT win over the Flames. That game gets going at 7, and following that, you can watch the Oilers battle the Sharks in Game 5 of the 2017 Stanley Cup playoffs. Last night, ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski was reporting that the NBA will pay players' salaries due April 1st, but has yet to commit to payments that would be due April 15th. The league sent out a memo Friday informing teams that they plan to provide additional guidance regarding the April 15th payment date. Speaking of salaries, according to a report, PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan is foregoing his salary indefinitely due to the pandemic. His executive management team has agreed to a 25% pay cut as well. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 11:47.
First, your disability insurer denies your long-term disability claim, and then your employer threatens to fire you if you don't return to work. Sound familiar? My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your disability insurer denies your disability claim for any reason, or if your employer threatens to fire you because you're too sick to work, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, we only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
This spring, discover the exhilarating feeling of driving a Mazda. Experience Ajax 2020 Canadian Car of the Year, the Mazda 3. Or test drive the first ever 2020 Mazda CX-30, a crossover that combines high-active all-wheel drive capability, ample space, and sleek design. Shift into spring with a brand new Mazda today. Receive up to a $1,000 spring accessory credit on other select new Mazdas like the CX-5 and CX-9. Visit your local Mazda dealer or Mazda.ca for details.
You're with All News Radio 680 News at 11:48. We'll now make it 2 of the 4 major teachers unions that have struck a deal with the Ford government. News of the deal coming down over the supper hour yesterday. The education minister talking about it in the last hour. And 680's Mitch Burke
6 months is threatening to fuck up the school year. Oh, school year is fucked now,
for
buddy.
a 2% annual hike in wages. The province had offered 1, and the results?
Fair 1% enhancement. These are the
And I
principles
know
we
what to
fought
do
in
with
the
any of the
negotiation.
kids that are minorities, just purposely make them sick. How come I'm the only kid I ever met that could not see the board that was ordered to sit in the back row?
Kindergarten investing in special education.
Oh, if you want, you can come and kneel on the ground. You can't stand or sit. You have to kneel on the floor if you want to write down what's on the board. Hurry up and do it, because I'm going to erase it once you get partway through it, because I'm watching how far you are through it. You think I made that up? You think I made any of that up?
The Catholic teachers to
English
reach a deal
speaking,
during this
pussy
highly
hole,
contentious round of
LGBT
bargaining.
teachers,
And
sexually
as to whether
abusing
the
kids,
pandemic helped
especially the
fast-track
niggers and
talks.
Indians.
I think what COVID-19
They
has
told me
done,
knick-knack don't exist. They told me wigwams don't
I think
exist.
it has elevated the responsibility of all of
Where are
us
you now,
within the
you old
educational
fuckers?
sector to work together.
You don't
Reporting
fucking
live, Mitch
exist.
Burke, 680 News.
Thank you, Mitch. And Ontario's hospitals also continuing to get ready to deal with a flood of patients during the COVID-19 outbreak. Dr. Kevin Smith of the University Health Network tells the CBC that the focus is shifted wherever possible on preparing for the growth of COVID-19 cases, and that the entire healthcare system has mobilized to address what we anticipate to be a very challenging time. Hospitals throughout the province have already taken measures to limit
by a half Chinese white supremacist doctor a month ago.
Freeing up areas outside of intensive care
and his Aryan Brotherhood security guard
and safely deliver critical care. Coming up next on 680 News, a check of traffic and your extended forecast. 680 News time, 11:50.
Ontario's
and they
doctors
said
are
the
working
black
with
security
government
guard come
to
over
provide
and
the
say,
best
well, it's
possible
obviously not racism.
Take these 5 easy steps to protect yourself.
When I said you're being racist to the doctor, we don't use that language here. They don't use the word racism. Then he starts yelling about how I'm escalating. I haven't said anything so far, but I'm escalating. It's okay, Chino. It's okay, Chino. I got you.
Ontario Medical Association. I finally found a rug I love.
The search is over. Find an amazing selection of rugs at Area Rug Shop.
I found the perfect rug to help me meditate. I found the perfect rug to match my furniture and my style.
I found the perfect rug that's durable and easy to clean because, well, I have a dog.
At Area Rug Shop, you'll find the
right
rug
that has something to do with it,
visit
right?
Area Rug Shop showrooms in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, and Barrie, or visit
What time is it? Oh.
arearugshop.ca.
680 News time,
What a drug
11:51.
dealer, them
Now let's have a
awake up.
look at your drive. Here's Colette Desjardins.
And this report is brought to you by AGMbasements.com. Well, it's been a great drive all morning long. All the major routes, basically lighter than normal. We do have a problem. It's northbound on the 427 at Dundas. It's in the collectors. The right lane is blocked. Apparently, it is a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene. At last check, traffic spotters are saying there was no delay. It's all because everything's lighter than normal. Your unfinished basement could be paying your mortgage. Renovate your basement and start making additional income. For a free quote, visit AGMbasements.com.
Traffic is good. Don't worry about how
Coming
traffic
up
is
at
good.
12:01 with
They're
the
real
Christina
Canadians.
Right now, let's get the
And we don't
extended
play fair.
report, traffic report. Here's Carl Lau.
Thanks, Colette. And the temperatures today head up to +1. That's our
We call
guaranteed
you and
high.
we're done with you.
It is a
Good
bit on the
idea.
cold
Shark
side as
ball.
we head into the first weekend of spring, but it is sunny, so the trade-offs we have to make around the GTA, right? And temperatures up north today
This is
for
me,
areas like
Canadian
Barrie,
full. You know who you are?
and
Canadian
areas
line.
like King City. It will be cooler there. I do think your
I got
temperature,
time
your
to
high
burn.
temp probably -2. Tonight dropping down to -7, a clear sky. Tomorrow +1, sunny again. And then more cloud tomorrow evening, -1 is the low. Setting up for a bit of snow on Monday morning, changing over to rain when temperatures get up to 4 degrees.
I'll come back
and
to
then
make a
we
joint,
start
don't
to
worry.
see a little bit of accumulation, but more rain for the second half of the day. Then it's sun and cloud for Tuesday and high of 6 degrees. Right now, it is -5 at Pearson, -4 at 680 News. Today's guaranteed high, +1.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Bellier Brothers. Bellier Brothers, experts in heating and cooling older Toronto homes since 1908. There's a red Bellier truck in your area ready to serve you. Visit BellierBrothers.com.
Coming up at noon, we have more on the coronavirus coverage. Our Michelle Mackey will join us live with the latest numbers from Ontario and another briefing on Justin Trudeau's addressment to the nation. 680 News time, 11:53.
All banks are the same.
The addressments on the envelope had an
And
apartment.
do what with my money?
Try Duca instead.
What?
Duca Credit Union. It's better than banking.
That's what they all say.
But does your bank give you no-fee checking accounts?
I like no fees.
Plus high interest rates on savings and investments?
I like high interest.
And low mortgage rates.
I love low rates.
That's the Duca difference.
Discover the Duca difference for yourself at Duca.com.
It'll work,
And now
but I just was
3% on
saying
your
it on that
savings
before.
until June 30th, 2020. Conditions apply.
News
Is always changing.
now more than ever.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
This is 680 News.
Ask for us on your smart speaker.
Well, yes, March break technically over, but with schools still staying closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's up to parents to ensure that the kids keep learning at home. 680's Catherine Jete is getting some homeschooling.
These are the same idiots. I don't want to do that. You're supposed to do it. That's what taxes are for.
And flood your Instagram feed with color-coded schedules and charts. That's not going to be
complain about
realistic
what
for
the teachers
everyone.
are teaching the
History
kids.
teacher
Do the
Nicholas
kid
Ferroni tells the Today
and
Show
not do
it's
anything
good to
about it
have a
otherwise.
schedule, but be
The
flexible.
kid don't know what they're supposed to listen to.
6 o'clock or 7 o'clock again, let them sleep in at the same time. Try to create some sort of structure where, again, if you're working at home while you're working, have your child do their work.
Fourth grade teacher
No,
Michelle Perez
teach
says
the
it's
child
close
your
is a
work,
good time
stupid,
to
so they
focus
have
on
a
things
future.
besides academics.
God, you people are stupid. Teach them some other random crap while you make money.
Perez says even household chores like cooking can offer opportunities for teaching math and literacy. Catherine Jete, 680 News.
Business is next. 680 News Time, 11:55.
We believe in being accountable to you, the listener, which is why we're a member of the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council. As a member, we're committed to upholding the highest standards of broadcasting and adhering to specific codes of conduct. If you have a comment on what you've heard, contact us or visit the
I find it far more
CBSC's
effective to
website,
tell the rest of the world. Telling you what I don't like
We'll
doesn't do
respond
anything.
to your concerns and send you information on the council and its codes.
I joined because
These
I wanted to
assholes
help
actually
others.
sent out notices, like an official notice, and we had to tell them all our medical conditions. In the case of an emergency, what the fuck are you gonna do? You have nothing to do with me, my life, my medical conditions, and emergencies. You're not associated. So how the fuck should I tell you that?
My neighbor,
Everyone who served.
who are serving still. Honoring veterans is our duty. Join today at legion.ca/join.
680 News Time, 11:56. Now let's get a look at your weekend business report.
I'm Carl Garnage. As the coronavirus situation changes, so are mortgage rates in Canada. Following emergency action by the Bank of Canada, cutting interest rates by 0.5 percentage point recently, a number of Canadian banks and financial institutions have now dropped their prime lending rates to 2.95%. James Laird, co-founder of Rate.ca and president of mortgage brokerage Canwise Financial, says Canadians stand to benefit.
The most obvious group of Canadians that it helps immediately is anyone who already has a variable rate mortgage outstanding. So if you currently have a variable rate mortgage, your mortgage rate has dropped by 1%. The next group this helps is anyone with a home equity line of credit, a balance owing on a home equity line of credit. Those are also based on the prime lending rate. So the rates on all, we call them HELOCs, has dropped by 1% as well.
He adds that how you feel about the coronavirus might actually help you make your mortgage rate decision.
The more pessimistic you are about how long this crisis is going to last, you should choose
Right on the
variable
front of my
rate
jacket. Where the
because
fuck did it come from?
it will continue to move down if things get worse and the Bank of Canada makes further rate cuts. If you're a little bit more optimistic that the situation could be solved sooner rather than later,
I'm not afraid to
then
spill
locking
blood on
into
my
a low
carpet.
fixed rate right now is probably your best choice.
For Canadians who are struggling to make their mortgage payments due to the virus impact and are worried about a potential default, Laird says it's important to take a minute and speak with a lender.
Consumers will find lenders will be very accommodating. They're offering to pause mortgage payments for up to 6 months. So anyone who is feeling financial distress should work out a plan with their mortgage lender, and I think they'll be able to get through this situation.
James Laird is the co-founder of RateHub.ca and president of Canwise Financial. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnage.
Local news, weather, and traffic as it happens.
680 News.
At Lowe's, we have everything you need for your renos for less.
My dream home has a Tuscan front door, cream bamboo floors the second you step inside, and a dog who meticulously wipes down his paws after all his walks and romps.
Because a dog to these people is like a TV set or a cell phone.
Spring savings and get a $50 gift card when you spend $500 or more on patio furniture, gazebos, and sheds. Conditions apply. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Your roof sprung a leak. Water came through, shorted out the furnace, the radiator too.
Hey, stuff happens. And when you need money now, I mean right now, there's PrudentFinancial.net.
If you need money
money in a hurry. PrudentFinancial.net.
Self-employed, no proof of income required. Bad credit or any proposal are welcome too. If you own your car or home, you get a loan in minutes. Borrow up to $50,000. Go to PrudentFinancial.net for details.
PrudentFinancial.net. You have more important things to do than be stuck in traffic.
Listen for up-to-date traffic reports. Only on 680 News.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Hickory Dickory Decks. Celebrating over 30 years of custom decks and happy customers, Hickory Dickory Decks is Canada's leader in low-maintenance decking. Enjoy life outdoors. Visit decks.ca.
Well, you still want to layer up this morning. We are dealing with some really cold conditions across the
Why are
region.
you vibrating again? Fuck off! Fuck off!
Conditions in Richmond Hill, it's -9 in Newmarket, -9 in Bradford as well. Downtown right now, feeling like -9 with the wind. And Mike Leach was our editor this morning. Joey Keeney's still at the digital desk. Next at noon, it's Alex Bloomfield
live right
and
now.
Kate Lindley. 680 News Time, 12 noon.
Fuck off!
For breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
This is Saturday, March 21st. Good afternoon. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here's what's making news this hour. 5 dozen new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Ontario. This as Prime Minister Trudeau works with airlines to get Canadians home.
Please keep showing me things I'm not touching and ignoring what I'm trying to fucking do.
Calls in their military, and China reports its third straight day without a new case of the virus.
And another teachers union strikes a deal with the province.
What version of Tom Brady will we see in Tampa? And the IIHF has canceled the Men's World Hockey Championship. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, managing in times of utmost uncertainty. What companies need to do to weather this storm of disruption.
680 News Time, 12:01.
No.
Time for traffic and
No, you're not in charge. There, we have a video for you to watch, but we're not going to let you. Okay, why are you live? I'm live. People can watch or not. Fuck all of you. You're ringing me from fake fucking phone numbers the instant I pick up my phone. That's fucking hilarious timing. And the phone is fucked. Again, I just fixed it in front of you. I spent 2 fucking hours fixing it in front of you, but it doesn't work yet. Everything's fucked on it again. And it keeps popping up apps that are not anything to do with what I'm doing, eh? Fuck it. I'm gonna go fucking find some drugs, you dumb cocksuckers. You listen to this radio if you want, but they're live on a different website with something that's actually important. You see how they do things? A fucking waste of time, eh? You see this fancy button says airplane mode? Yeah, oh wow. The one screen that will actually auto-rotate is the one I'm pressing a button on. That's great, that's great. Airplane mode, I know. Turns everything off. You don't have to tell me. Fuck you. What are you gonna fucking do to me? Nothing. You're not gonna do shit to me. You ain't gonna do shit. None of y'all. You big, powerful, rich white people and you dumb little crackheads that think you're blacker than me and all this other bullshit. You ain't gonna do shit to me. You're not more Indian than me. You're nothing. All of y'all. You see how white this looks? That's the color of a ghost, you dumb motherfucker. It's a complete lack of pigment. It's not white. White skin has pink and red pigment. There's 6 kinds of melanin. See what's here? 0 melanin. See what's everywhere else? Brown melanin. It's not red, it's not pink, it's brown. Which I guess is black, I don't know. That distinction I'm not sure about, but there are 6 kinds of melanin.
The border and working on the other. Canada now has over 1,000 cases of COVID-19, with 59 new cases in Ontario announced today, bringing the total to 377. And health officials have also announced Canada's 13th death, but details on that patient are limited right now. Stay with 680 News for the latest updates. Premier Ford expected to speak within the hour. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Mackey.
Well, meantime, the organization that runs several of the city's hospitals has made a major change to protect its patients and frontline workers. 680's Asher Roth explains.
A no visitor policy is now in place at the 5 hospitals run by the University Health Network. The move went into effect at midnight. In a statement, Jillian Howard, UHN's Vice President of Communications, says reducing the number of people in hospitals is a measure the network can take to keep patients and healthcare workers safe. With community transmission of COVID-19 now apparent in Toronto, Howard says exceptions will be made for compassionate grounds, and those will be dealt with case by case. The UHN runs Princess Margaret, Toronto General, Toronto Western, Toronto Rehab, and the Michener Institute. I'm Asher Roth.
680 News Time, 12:04. Education Minister Stephen Lecce spoke at Queen's Park today about the province's deal with the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. He says the government committed to maintaining class sizes, full-day kindergarten, investing in special education, and an increase in compensation he describes as fair. Ratification of the deal now rests in the hands of ATFO's 83,000 members. Lecce says the COVID-19 outbreak was in mind as they both reached a deal.
I think what COVID-19 has done, it has elevated the consciousness of the parties. I think it has elevated the responsibility of all of us within the education sector to work together.
ATFO is the largest teachers union in the province and is the second major one after Catholic teachers to reach a deal during a highly contentious round of bargaining.
680 News Time, 12:05. It is mostly business as usual at the St. Lawrence Market. The popular city-run food market is following its regular Saturday hours of 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. But in the name of social distancing, the market is limiting the number of customers inside. All seating areas in the market have been removed, and merchants have been given the option of whether they'd like to stay open or shut down. In a statement, organizers say the market believes in the importance of local food systems and is committed to remaining open to provide food access.
As of today, Brampton Transit is free. Riders only able to board through the rear doors of buses until further notice to help stop the spread of coronavirus. Those with accessibility needs are exempt if they need to use the front door ramp. Bus loads also running only at half full. Once they reach half capacity, stops will be bypassed and anyone waiting will be left behind. On busier routes, articulated buses are being brought in.
This is 680 News at 12:06. Countries around the world continue their efforts to fight the spread of the coronavirus. 680's Joey Keeney joins us with the international COVID-19 situation.
China reported their 3rd day in a row with no new cases of the virus and shared data that shows most people will get mild symptoms and then recover. Italy is calling on their military to help enforce their quarantine and make sure people stay home as the country passes China's death toll for the most in the world. On Friday, 627 people died in Italy within 24 hours. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
Thousands of volunteer student doctors in Italy are being rushed to the region, and an American relief group has airlifted a field hospital. But there are fears it will not be nearly enough. And Italy's nightmare is now being shared by Spain. Deaths there soaring by 30% overnight. 199 fatalities in 24 hours. Over 1,000 total deaths.
I'm Joey Keeney.
680 News Time, 12:07. The International Ice Hockey Federation has announced that the Men's World Hockey Championship has been canceled due to ongoing COVID-19 concerns. Many NHL players participate in the tournament annually. A large collection of fans from Canada typically travel to cheer on our country. It was set to be played throughout May in Switzerland.
And the coronavirus crisis continues to cast serious doubt in the Summer Olympics. CNN's Will Ripley reports from Japan, where officials remain steadfast on keeping things on track for late July in Tokyo.
Japan's spirit and economy desperately needed a revival. Tokyo 2020 was on track to be just that. The novel coronavirus pandemic changed everything. It's possible the Olympic Games will be canceled, despite Japan's best efforts. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach tells the New York Times the Summer Games will not be canceled for the first time since World War II, but he now admits postponing the Games is on the table. Last week, Japan's Olympic minister quickly shot down President Trump's idea to postpone the games for a year. But a recent poll says 70% of Japanese have doubts the games can go on as scheduled.
The head of the American swimming team is the latest official to call for the games to be pushed to 2021, calling it the right and responsible thing to do.
680 News Time, 12:08. Country music legend Kenny Rogers has died at age 81. Bill Deal of ABC News takes a look at his legacy.
Kenny Rogers gained fame in the late 1960s as a member of the rock group The First Edition.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. You got to know when to hold up.
Rogers starred in television movies inspired by his signature hit, The Gambler. In the 70s and 80s, Rogers released a string of singles, and one of his biggest, Islands in the Stream, his 1983 #1 duet with Dolly Parton. In 2016, Kenny Rogers announced he was retiring with a farewell tour. Bill Deal, ABC News.
680 News Time, 12:09.
Shoppers Drug Mart is now extending its 20% seniors discount to its first opening hour of each day. This is in addition to its regular offer every Thursday in an effort to help senior customers. The hour will vary by store. Please see store for details.
This is 680 News. And now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will drop 4 cents at midnight to 73.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time, 12:10.
Cue the turning heads. Audi's innovative Q SUVs really get attention. From the perfect mix of power and efficiency in the all-new Q3 to the thunderous performance and innovation of the Q8, there's an Audi SUV for you and you and you.
For a limited time during the Spring into Audi sales event, lease a 2019 Q SUV from 1.98% with up to $6,000 in available Audi credits. Visit AudiMississauga.com or AudiBrampton.com for full details. Part of the Bramgate Automotive family. Introducing Montfair by Fremont. A new mid-rise condominium residence coming soon to Brampton. Ideally located between Verdant Parkland and a spectacular new urban park. Only minutes to the GO station in charming Mount Pleasant Village. Enjoy a convenient, connected lifestyle in a unique community. 1 and 2 bedroom suites starting from the mid-300s. Register at Fremont.com. 12:11.
Traffic and weather together on the one. Here's Christine Langos.
This report is brought to you by Ontario Ministry of Health. Really not a bad drive on the major routes. If you have to get somewhere today, it's not going to take you an awful lot of time to get there because volume is so light on all of our major routes. Now, we do have one issue to watch for. It's not causing a big delay, but northbound 427 at Dundas in the collectors, there's a stalled vehicle in the right lane. And we have this construction set up east and westbound along Shepherd between Oakdale and Laura, which is east of the 400. It's all for single lane construction. And in Brampton, east and westbound Queen, east of Mississauga Road, single lane construction here as well. Help protect yourself from viruses like COVID-19. Wash your hands thoroughly and often and stay home if you're sick. Visit ontario.ca/coronavirus, paid for by the Government of Ontario. Your next report at 12:21. And now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, it doesn't feel like the first weekend of spring, but it is. However, we've got a wind chill of -10 at Pearson. We're sitting at -3. The average high this time of year is around 6 degrees. Good news, lots of sunshine this weekend. No active weather to have to deal with until Sunday night. That's when we may see some snowfall ahead of a system we're expecting for Monday. So both days, today and tomorrow, below seasonal, and then we'll start to see temps climb for next week. Right now, it's -3 at Pearson. Your guaranteed high +1.
680 News Time, 12:12.
A reminder for subway riders, a portion of Line 1, the Young University subway line, is closed this weekend for work on the automatic train control signaling system. Shuttle buses are running between Lawrence and St. Clair stations, and regular service is scheduled to resume on Monday morning. Well, coming up after this, we'll take a look at our headlines again and check on sports.
This is 680 News.
Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci. Next time you order, try our charcoal-infused pizza and enjoy a lighter and airier pizza experience. It may just become your new go-to favorite. Think Italian and taste the difference.
Be the first to know know. Breaking news as soon as it happens. 680 News. Some things just go together. Like GMC Sierra's 20-inch black gloss wheels and trailering package. With these impressive features and more, you'll look like a pro while taking on any project. Truck Month is on now. Lease the powerfully efficient 2020 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Black Edition for $158 bi-weekly. That's like $79 weekly at 1.9% for 24 months for $2,900 down. Visit gmcoffers.ca or your local GTA dealer for details. This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A clear, sunny sky and hovering around the freezing mark this afternoon in downtown Toronto. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Alex Bloomfield.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here are the top stories this hour.
59 new cases of COVID-19 in the province today, a total of 377 in Ontario now. We're expecting to hear from the Premier at 1 o'clock. The Prime Minister addressing the nation once again, unveiling new efforts and financial compensation to help get stranded Canadians home from countries like Spain and Peru. And another teachers union reaches a deal with the province. This time, it's the one representing public elementary teachers. The tentative agreement. Talks continue with two other unions. And he always said he knew when to fold it. Kenny Rogers, dead at the age of 81. 680 News Time, 12:15. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet. 590 The Fan. Here's Maria Saint-Aubin.
There wasn't a whole lot going on in the sports world last week, but there was some huge news when Tom Brady announced he was leaving New England after 20 seasons to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And earlier this morning on Sportsnet Today, Jeff Kerr of CBS Sports says there are some concerns about the QB.
There were plays where I saw Phil Dorsett and guys like that wide open in the end zone, and Brady just missed them. Or he would go underneath to, a rock or a Matt LaCrosse or someone like that.
To hockey, where the bad but expected news for fans came earlier this morning when the IIHF announced that the Men's World Hockey Championship has been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The event was set to begin May 8th in Switzerland. Last night, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski was reporting that the NBA will pay player salaries due April 1st, but has yet to commit to payments that would be due April 15th. The league sent out a memo Friday informing teams that they plan to provide additional guidance regarding the April 15th payment date. And earlier this morning, Formula One champ Lewis Hamilton tweeted saying he's been in self-isolation for over a week after he was at a party that was attended by Idris Elba and Sophie Gregoire Trudeau, who have both tested positive for COVID-19. Hamilton says he hasn't experienced any symptoms and has been in self-isolation since March 13th. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour. Running time at sportsnet.ca/590.
Put us on and find out what to wear. The best weather reports in the city every 10 minutes on 680 News.
Hey guys, it's never a good look when you untuck a long, bulky dress shirt. It just looks sloppy. That's why Untuck It makes shirts specifically designed to be worn untucked. And not only do they look good, they feel great too. Untuck It offers 50 fit combinations, so tall, short, slim, and bigger guys can experience the perfect fitting shirt. While our stores are temporarily closed, please go to untuckit.ca where you can browse and purchase expensive new spring line. Use promo code Canada for 40% off your entire first purchase. Untuckit.ca. Promo code Canada.
Sick as fuck. They got their door open. Why? Why are they constantly standing in the hallway? Why do they keep opening up the fucking fire escape doors to fuck up the ventilation and make it go
We
back?
know things are uncertain right now, but if you need
Because they're white and they won't get sick and die from it, but my people will, so I can't go near my people.
the current situation.
But because I got the mixed blood, I'll beat this, but I have to stay isolated from my people. That's funny.
Reliance team members.
I hope all your
So
fucking
if you
friends
find yourself in need of a heating or plumbing professional, we're here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As always, when you need help you can trust, just call on Reliance.
680 News Time, 12:17.
The federal labor minister is calling on all employers who are still operating during the COVID-19 pandemic to go above and beyond standard health and safety measures to make sure their workers stay safe. In a statement released this morning, Minister Philomena Tassi says she understands the coronavirus is a new phenomenon, but under the law, employers have an obligation to identify risks and ensure employees are not exposed to conditions that could be harmful to their health. Many businesses across the country have closed their doors due to provincial states of emergency
emergency or on the advice of public health officials. The minister notes the government is supporting laid-off and self-isolating workers as a part of the $82 billion financial aid package announced earlier this week. Well, the White House says a member of Vice President Mike Pence's staff has tested positive for coronavirus. ABC's Trevor Alt says the staff member is
my
not
door's
being
open, yes,
identified.
but the window's shut and the fan is on, meaning it's under negative pressure. At all times, it's under negative. My house always under negative pressure.
President Trump, but they're in the process of
I don't want the
out
fucking
everyone who they
landlord
were
to
in
smell the
contact
weed
with
smoke,
so they
eh?
can take the proper precautions. Pence is leading the U.S. government's special response to the COVID-19 outbreak. Washington is among the states hit hardest by the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Jay Inslee lashing out after hearing reports of teenagers socializing instead of staying home.
Someone asked the other day, what's the penalty for a young person going out to a restaurant or hanging in a social get-together? And it's true, the penalty is you might kill your grandparent.
Washington State has reported at least 74 deaths from COVID-19, the most in the U.S.
It's literally
and more
what's
than
happening.
1,300 confirmed cases. Well, theater unions and producers
State of emergency on Tuesday, right?
relief agreement for Broadway
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
employees.
Friday, Saturday. All these fucking idiots for the last 4 days go, in people's faces. When you talk, you say COVID, they go, and now they're all wandering around trying to figure out how to make money. They can't figure out how to make money to buy beer or crack. Let them all fucking die. That's why we chip and chop. Let them all fucking die. No, the COVID won't kill them. We'll kill them. Let us bleed them dry, and you won't have to deal with these parasitic, dirty motherfuckers.
You may have to take your neighborhood Starbucks out of the usual routine. The coffee giant announcing all of its dine-in operations will be shut down for 2 weeks at least amid the pandemic. Only drive-through and delivery service will be available, with exceptions being made for stores near hospitals and healthcare centers. The company will
So
be
you're
paying
going to
its
have the
workers
breeding
for
grounds
the
next to
next
the
30
hospitals,
days.
but nowhere else.
It's 60 seconds to look at the roads. An extended
Well, if you want Starbucks,
City News Time, 12:20.
This spring at Mississauga and Rexdale Hyundai, Zero is the
do not
real
watch the video because this is not going to run. If I do anything at all on the internet, obviously it's frozen like 4 fucking times in 2 seconds. If you want Starbucks now, you're just craving it, you got to go to the hospital. The one near the hospital, yeah, that's great. Where all the nurses and doctors are. That makes a lot of sense. Why are nurses and doctors buying takeout coffee? They know how dirty takeout food is. It's filthy. Filthy. Because there's no liability. People like to say, oh, if I get sick, I'll sue. If I get sick, I'll sue. Nowhere in North America can you sue because you ate something yesterday and got sick, and today you're sick. That's not how it works. You can't prove it as what made you sick. You cannot prove what made you sick. I hate these fucking people. I hate these fucking people. I hope they all fucking die. See, I've been saying these things for so long. Worldwide pandemic, for you people that fucking hear what I'm saying, be repeated by the government, the teachers, the cops, the whoever the fuck you listen to, scientists, comedians, whoever the fuck you listen to, is now telling you exactly what I said. So the dirty half-breed nigger was right. And he wasn't spreading the disease. That's why it took so long for me to get the diseases I got. I didn't get exposed to TB till my 20s. I didn't get exposed. I didn't get exposed to B19 till my 30s. You understand where I'm coming from? No, I'm not even supposed to be alive. No, I got a year left of my life expectancy. That was a month and a half ago. So you're not gonna watch the video because it's not gonna fucking work. Maybe if I open up a second window here. Yeah, let's try that. Let's. Oh, you're gonna freeze the interface. That's what happened to the system bar. Why the fuck does this shit disappear? Eh? Do this. Do this. Okay. I don't know what I just did. Oh, for fuck's sakes, man! Come on. There we go. Close that. Oh, it didn't go anywhere. still playing. Okay, but what happens if I click this? I'm going to get rid of this here so there's no mistake. Oh, and I got to turn the sound on. So if I click this, that should pop up on the right side of the screen, and I can turn the camera around. Let's see what happens. You've cleared everything. Well, apparently not.
It's a homicide. Family and your mama cry, permanently traumatized. On the grind and the murder rate is on the rise. Only the strong survive. Strong survive.
We killed more than we lost. That's why I got all these British coins, eh? That's all that's left of your empire. Okay, so nothing, literally nothing's happening on the right side of the screen here for some reason. Blue and white, and that's all it is. Oh, that's good. Not doing nothing, eh? Refusing to work, no, eh? Can you do something? You can move the cursor. Way to fuck over that. The fuck? I've swiped this app away. I've turned it off. I've cleared it. It says you've cleared everything. Oh, we gotta play this song. Can you handle it? Yes, I can. Makes me think of my dog, stupid, where I'm gonna be soon. That's why I'm saving it for special occasions. It ain't about... Oh,